Hey man, is that Double D? Yeah man, well turn it up man.
Let's just go in and like kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys, who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren, right?
This is not the face of the hobby anymore. And I think there's been mistakes made in years past where people assumed that D&D players were all, you know, white dudes in a basement. Which has been a faulty assumption for a lot of years and gets more and more false every day. And so it's, in my viewpoint, honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
I just had to be born with empathy and a weakness for socialism and femboys.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
When we got the descriptions, they were very adamant. They were like, try not to make it like a white blonde guy. Like, please, like, we love him, but there's like 500 million of them.
The diversity that the characters need to have needs to reflect the gaming world now. The mix of people that are playing these games, you know, it's not the, 13-year-old white boys held up in their basements. It's a very diverse crowd,
You say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
What's this?
What's this? It's the jacket.
The jacket.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Who's this monster? She's got her own place. Otisburg. It's a little bitty place. Otisburg. Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town. Yep.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay.
No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
5, 4, 3. Great, Sam.
We dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
On guard.
Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis!
Double zeros, baby!
Check 1, 2. We're a little out of sorts today. I went to hit the start streaming button.
Only from a certain point of view. Nick says those community college classes aren't paying off. I tried to tell him I'm the one that fixed it, but then I came clean and said I didn't fix it. I'm probably the one that broke it.
We changed the name of the
minor fire. Put it out.
We changed the name of the modify button to don't.
Yeah.
It just says don't.
Why don't you throw Edgelord up there?
Yep. There we go.
Maybe you can give him maybe you can welcome him properly with the new the new
We
drop.
dumping chump. It's a landslide, sir.
It's a landslide,
It's a
Edgelord.
landslide.
$5, Edgelord. Dark week for America. PA dropped the ball and sold a holy landmark to Walmart. Monroeville Mall forever. I hope zombies and bikers get it. Did they sell the Monroeville Mall? Is that going to be a Walmart now?
Oh, gosh, I hope not.
Do you know that square footage wise, our mall is in the top like 10 in America?
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a pretty big mall.
Just because it's not 2 stories, people, some stores are 2 stories, but like just because it's not like a double decker, people don't think of it that way. But our mall's humongous. Yeah.
It's strategically it's placed strategically, and its shape is rather strategic as well.
I think I said that, or I like sent that out one time. Like, our mall is shaped like a handgun.
Pointing to downtown.
No mob involvement at all with that. Mercurius, my ear trumpet has been struck by lightning. Gifted one.
Mucho gracias.
Thank you so much, Mercurius. Yeah. Thank you so much. Ooh. Patrick Demo, good to see you. Get Casimir Urban. Get the pundits one right above that if you would. That's right above Patrick's. showing. Yeah.
All right, first you read that.
Yeah. We've got Ogres. Good to see you, Patrick. Hey, Double D. Just now published a video on the history of RPGNet and their long, slow slide into insanity. All right, when you guys, when you're done here, please check that out. Yeah, I remember them in the day. It was kind of a benign insanity over there for a while, and then like it has just gone off the rails. OGG. Double D, that beard is coming in awesome. You'd make a way more believable Reed Richards than Disney's current pick. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I may keep this look now. I may keep it. Big Mall.
I'll remind you of that when it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Badger for $2. Big Malls. Isn't he part of the Doge team?
I had to look up what Doge actually meant. I didn't want to be ignorant, so I had to get with it.
It's like a double entendre.
I like it.
Department of Government Efficiency, and
I like it. I like it a lot.
Dogecoin. All right. Looks like a lot of the regulars are here.
Oh, we got another one.
Oh, thank you for your kind words. Yes, no problem, Jeffrem. I don't know if you wanted to say, you know, what's been going on, Jeffrem. I don't want to do that for you, but you're most welcome, buddy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And you are in my thoughts and prayers, my friend. Jeff Hatch from Harrison, Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah. So, thank you all for showing up. Already 82 here. All right, so I will...
Whoa, check this out.
Krugus.
All right.
Did you miss anything? No. You're right
just
on
started,
time.
Yeah. We were late.
Yeah, we were a little late. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff, you hit Jeffrem's there right above that, if you don't mind. Let's get that. Yeah, unfortunately, Jeffrem's father passed within the past week. So please keep him in your prayers. I know you guys, we have a nice little group here, a lot of camaraderie. So, you know, please.
Yeah, sorry to hear that.
Send all them good thoughts, prayers, all that stuff out to Jeffrem. Obviously, just kind of having gone through a similar time, I know it's always appreciated. It really is.
Yeah.
You know, thank you, Jeffrem. Take care, buddy. We, you know, we're thinking of you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We are thinking of you. All right. First, my schedule coming up.
It's a busy one. Some would say itinerary.
Yes.
Some people would say schedule.
Schedule. All right, so I'm starting to lay down. I think I mentioned last week, it doesn't look like North Texas is on the radar for this year. I think maybe 2026 is the year for North Texas. What do you think there, Crazy Mouse?
I really don't get into all these conventions. I enjoyed going to Gen Con those 2 times, and I'm kind of wanting to go to another one. And out of the blue, like a week ago or 10 days ago, I texted Double D and I was like, I feel like going to North Texas Con. So I went and did some research, and the date looked like it would conflict with something. And it does.
Yeah.
Our daughter's graduation. So I'm a no for North Texas Con.
Yeah, and we are too. It just isn't going to work out this year. But I'm thinking next year we're gonna make it work.
And that's a possible. If it's a drive, I looked it up. It's like a 2-day trip.
Yeah,
then I was like, well, maybe that's just a fly one.
Yeah,
because it's at the airport. I looked.
Yeah, I would think that's a fly one. For us.
I looked. It's like in the rooms, and I looked at the attendance. I don't know. It just seemed like one I was super interested in.
Yep. But go ahead, Rogan.
I was gonna say I think by next year things will settle down. I'm interested in going.
Good. Yeah, it was I didn't want to speak for you, but
yeah, I'm gonna miss everything this year. Hopefully, Origins. We'll see how that pans out, but next year, I think things will be a lot clearer.
When is Diversity Mouse Con?
And Rogan Con.
And Rogan Con. Yeah, we'll keeping it in the back of our mind.
I mentioned that to Double D too. I told him where he could have it too.
It's a thought in our PP right now, but we'll see.
Upper.
We'll go to Upper Beach.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of hotels up there.
Oh, for sure.
In the meantime, I will be, Mrs. D and I will be, and anybody else wants to join us at Central New York Con. We're gonna go. Greg Gillespie's going to be there.
That's a Friday, Saturday.
It is, yeah. Actually, I think it's Saturday, Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll be coming in Friday, though, and leaving Sunday. Yeah, please go. Roger is usually bumping around in the chat. So if he comes in later, just let him know that, hey, I'm going, because I haven't had a chance to tell him. But I did have a chance to tell Greg. He said, fantastic. So we're going to have a couple of days of good gaming with Greg. And like I said, anybody else who wants to hop in, like I said, it's very easy. Just make your reservation at the Burstone Inn. Should be fun. Hope to see you there.
Oh, before you go to Origins thing, North Texas is limited to 600.
Yeah. Joe Bittman was telling me that they're getting up to their limit right now. So yeah. So if you are planning on going or waffling on North Texas, you might want to act now rather than later. Like I said, hopefully won't be this year, but hopefully things work out. Hopefully maybe you'll see all three of us there plus Mrs. D next year at North Texas. Irving, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Jerry World. Maybe that's where the con should be.
In Jerry World.
I don't even know what that is.
Rogan, that's the 150,000 seat football stadium.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bring it
That's
on.
where the Cowboys play.
Yeah, home of the Cowboys.
Jeff says he thinks they're sold out. It wouldn't surprise me. So, you got to act early if you want to go to North Texas. Remember that next year. And I will also, Mrs. D and I and our daughter are also going to be going to Origins. Again, for us, it's only a 3.5 hour drive. So that's easy. That's a landslide, son.
We dumping chump.
That's right.
It's a landslide, sir.
And we're gonna know a couple of people there. Mrs. D. She can play like board games with her. Actually, a lot of her regular board game group is going there. So yeah,
we used to play basketball with someone, and I always wondered if they go to that. Remember Bruce and Brandon?
Oh yeah. I wonder too.
They were huge into board games.
I think I'd be able to recognize him.
Yeah, he's easy to remember.
Yeah.
Bruce is. Brandon not so much, but Bruce is.
Yep. All right. So hey, hopefully it's going to be a busy. That's going to be a busy week. It's essentially couple weeks in a row of just stuff.
Origins gets about how many, Double D?
I think Origins is more like 20 grand.
Yeah.
20,000. So it's kind of like
not dollars, people.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, it's kind of like where Gen Con was a long time ago, probably about 25 years ago. So
which one's Paladin?
Yeah, I'll give you the date. There you see the dates there.
That's Origins.
Yeah, Origins is June 18th to the 22nd. And Central New York is the week before.
Yep.
Saturday, Sunday, and then the next Saturday, Sunday. So there you go.
Jeff Hatch he has one coming up.
HatchCon. There you go. I'll be there in spirit, Jeff.
Harrison, Arkansas.
Be there in spirit. What's your character's favorite weapon? Rogan wants to know. Tell us in the chat. What do you roll with when you're obviously fantasy? We're talking. Oh, I guess you could put like Call of Cthulhu, the old revolver, shotgun.
I usually fight. I'm usually a thief, and I usually use a short dagger. So I use the
almost
stats.
Like a knife.
Yeah, I use the stats for a knife with just one die 2.
The Beck de Corbin, two-handed sword from Krugus.
Krugus is a two-handed sword.
Wouldn't expect anything less. Spear.
Nick is a Warhammer greatsword.
Ooh. Yeah, I like, you know what's often overlooked, Nick? The Great Hammer.
Yes.
The gigantic Great Hammer. Just use the stats for a great sword. Yeah, I go above the War Hammer to the Great Hammer. Anime North. There you go. Got a subcon full of games and all kinds. Good to hear, Jeff.
Pair of short swords, swinging them like
Twinkie, like Drizzt Do'Urden.
What's that guy in remember that Game of Thrones battle at like a tower? Tower of Joy? I'm drawing a blank. Is that the correct name? Tower of Joy?
I think so, yeah. You're talking about like the flashback?
Yeah, and he fights with two swords. One of those guys.
I'm trying to think back.
Is it Dunk? Eggard?
I don't think they showed Dunk and Egg yet.
One of those guys, help me out, Chad.
Help us out.
I ain't making this up.
Help us out. No. If you remembered it, it's legit. Absolutely. Right. Larenjaco M4A1 with an M203 grenade launcher. Oh, there you go. That'll get the job done.
That'll stop a dragon.
Tac sword and board. Yep. Boy, second one for a Beck to Corbin. Sir Arthur Dane. There you go. The Sword of Morning. Yes. Thank you, Snake Oil Sean.
And where was
coming
that
into the rescue as always.
Wait, where was that fight at? Am I getting this 2 for 2?
Let him know. The Warmatic from Rollmaster. Ooh. Deep cut there, Rock 2112. Plasma rifle in the 40 kilowatt range. Hey, just what's on the shelf, pal.
Tower of Joy.
Tower of Joy. Yeah, no. I didn't want to just blindly say yes because I've completely forgotten.
I saw it once. I saw Game of Thrones one time.
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, is it not?
It is. To
have that kind of memory.
It is, because you can come off like a creeper when you're talking to somebody. So sometimes you have to pretend like you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. He's got a beautiful mind. Crazy Mouse.
He does.
It drives people bonkers.
Doesn't drive me bonkers. I like to, if you work with it.
Yeah.
That's the problem in all of our lives, isn't it? Everybody wants to work against us.
Double D honed in on something that I guess I never really thought of. I have trouble reading, and I don't like to read out loud. But I do know how to read most words. Sometimes the letters get mixed up. But anyway, I read it silently in my head, and then I just recite what I just read. And Double D said that's probably from a young age how I got to have a good memory. And I was like, yeah, that's very possible.
Almost assuredly, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I would love to have that kind of memory, especially now. I'm starting to forget things that I probably shouldn't. A needler gun in Expedition to the Barrier Peaks. Damn.
I'm not familiar with that, but I'll buy one.
Yeah. That was the sci-fi one, of course. Barrier Peaks, where you start in D&D and then you discover a crashed spaceship. Spoiler alert. Look at this, our friend Chris Miller. Is he even here? Chris, you in there? Hello.
He says he's here.
I saw him.
McFly.
People listening. What did I miss? What did I miss?
Why are people? He's like, he rolled out of bed. Why are people listening? We asked what your character's favorite weapons were, Chris. But now we're on to bigger and better things like, Chris Miller's tweet, which got picked up by Neon. Which is always a good thing. From Clownfish. Now, RPGNet forums banning any and all support for Trump. This isn't surprising. Now, I think, and somebody even said this, because this had the ring of like familiarity. And I think they even put like a note on Twitter about this. They're like, yeah, they did this like 6 years ago. But it's always good to revisit it. This is an actual screenshot from RPGNet. The following policy is the result of over a year of serious debate. Now, I think this was in like 2018, 2019 by the moderation team. RPGNet used to be, let me frame this for you, for those of you that don't know. Like back in the day, there was like Eric Noah's site, which became EN World, essentially. And then, there were kind of like smaller off sites. You know, one of them even Pundit's site, the RPG site. You know, but you had like Nutkin Land and places of Nothing Land, places like that. Circus Maximus. Well, RPGNet was always this weird place where you'd always find these weirdos who would be like, I want to get a fantasy. I want to do a fantasy role playing game where I roll a die 20 and I try to hit like a target number, and I roll, you know, all the other dice for damage. Do you guys have any idea of what game that, you know, what kind of game you could direct me to? Well, that would just be D&D. Except I don't want it to be D&D. You get a shitload of weirdo, like, I'd be like, dude, just just play this game. You're making this way too complicated. Nutkin. Oh, did you buy Nutkin? Oh, wow.
I'm trying to post that. For some reason, it won't pop up.
Yeah, I'll try it again here.
Nope.
Okay. There we go. That's going. There we go.
There we go. All right.
Nutkin Land became. Oh, okay. See, I knew we knew you like from before. I remember. I know we didn't interact much, Pundit, on there, but I remember you from back then. You know, and I kind of remember how you kind of went off and did your own thing. You know, but I was already starting not to use Nutkin Land.
I used to play it.
Nothing Land.
I used to be on it when I was working at this credit card place and doing data entry.
Yeah,
I was on it quite a bit.
Yeah, they had the arcade there.
Yeah, the arcade.
Squirrel Nutkin. Yeah,
I missed that.
At first, it was Nutkin Land, and then they changed it to Nothing Land. And then I think after that's when Squirrel Nutkin kind of lost interest, and the great diaspora occurred. And like I said, Pundit's site, the RPG site, kind of became a like a lifeboat for everybody leaving that. Still around too.
Didn't most of those people transition over to Circus Maximus?
A lot of them did for you too as well. Yeah, they went to Circus Maximus. Some went to the RPG site, and there was a couple of weirdos who created their own sites. Those didn't last long. Used to go to RPGNet back in the late 90s, early aughts to advertise for his RPG, says Chris. They were a little woke, but yeah, that's pretty much society back then. You know, that was Nutkin Land. That was Circus Maximus. Yeah, it was like, you know, we had a secret forum on Nutkin Land. Squirrel Nutkin on Nutkin Land, he was a liberal, but he after dealing with them on his site for a couple of years, he began to loathe all of the liberals on his site. So he wanted to create like a secret forum for all the conservatives there, and boy, we had a lot of fun there. And he was in our forum as well, and boy, he had a lot of fun too. If you were a liberal on Nutkin Land back in the day, just know everybody made fun of you, including like the owners of the board who you thought were on your side. But generally speaking, for the most part, they hated your fucking guts too. Asterion Moloch, $10. So is it true they ban you based on game preferences? Because I heard if you like the wrong games, they'd assume your politics and ban you. Yes, well, I will show you an example here. Thank you, Asterion, by the way. Thank you very much. The following policies, the decision is as close to unanimous as we ever get. It'll not be the subject of further debate. We fully considered the downsides and ultimately decided we have to stay true to our values. Oh, their values of authoritarianism. Their values of groupthink. That's what they've become.
Hive mind.
We will not pretend that evil isn't evil. Good Lord.
Check us on the replay, Jeff.
Yep. Take care, Jeff.
Have a good one, Jeff.
Or that it becomes a legitimate difference of political opinion if you put a suit and tie on it. Oh, boy. We are banning support of Donald Trump or his administration on the RPGNet forums. This is what these people do. They will brook no dissent because they are authoritarians. I mean, yes, a lot of them are just stupid commies, but in their hearts, they're authoritarians. I always say they'd sign your death warrant and not even think twice about it. A lot of these folks. Public comments, policies, and the makeup of his administration are so wholly incompatible with our values.
Now, aren't these people against censorship? I mean, traditionally?
Oh, They can't even pretend that anymore. No, they are 100% pro-censorship. 100% pro-censorship. Blah, blah, blah. We can be welcoming to persons of every ethnicity who want to talk about games, or we can allow support for open white supremacy. Not both. Below will be an outline of the policy. We have a community here that we built carefully over time, and support for elected hate groups aren't welcome here. We can't save the world, but we can protect and care for the small patch that is this board. They are going the route of something awful, which back in the day, everybody almost universally, kind of thought was funny, at least to some degree. They had their Photoshop Fridays, they had their goons, and they similarly became unhinged, and they are now a joke. Like Kiwi Farms, you can sort of document the downfall of these sites, like Something Awful and RPGNet. They do have a dedicated cadre of people on Kiwi Farms who will dutifully document these, and this comes from Kiwi Farms. This just shows you. Okay, so somebody put "friend" in their thread title. This is the current lunacy. Now, this was a couple days, maybe a week ago. "Friend" in thread title changed to "friend" because "friend," though it sounds cute, has been co-opted as a far-right dog whistle.
Huh?
Even being mentioned as such on Wiktionary. We think it's better not to have it on the front page. So this must have been a thread that was featured on the front page. So they went in and tinkered around. But that's what these people do. They're not content with that. They'll start investigating you like the Stasi of East Germany or the KGB. So then we get this. It must have been DM Jalund. "Recent posts and messages of you made us decide to do a content review of your posting history." So he put "friend," I guess, in his thread title. They changed it to "friend," and then they said, let's investigate this guy for putting "friend" in the title. You have a history of making questionable comments. Gee, I wonder how questionable. On numerous topics like misogyny and trans people. The trans people was probably like, gee, maybe they shouldn't compete against women, or, maybe we should look at this, which to them is heresy. With the latest example, we were initially going to write it off as a mistake made of ignorance. We're talking again about putting "friend" instead of "friend." But given the wider context and history and the message board messages sent to the moderators in response to this edit, we concluded this was not the case and is part of a continuing pattern that's not changing. As a result, you're not a good fit for the board. You are hereby permabanned. He was essentially permabanned for putting "friend" instead of "friend." That's RPGNet right now. Patrick Demo, our good friend, good to see you, buddy. $5. The projecting that RPGNet does goes from metaphorical, beyond theoretical, and goes straight to astral. Pot, meat, kettle. Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, Chris Miller, the policy on ICE states that site users are allowed to pile up on and harass police. Ice Age, yeah. Oh, yeah. They will absolutely allow you to do questionable things like that. If not legally questionable, at least morally questionable things like that. But look, it's a site full of just commies and authoritarians. You lay down with fleas, you're gonna get bit. I mean, RPGsite.com. Salutes, D&D. Mac Thompson, $2. Thank you, Mac.
Thank you, Mac.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt.
TheRPGsite.com. That's pundits. Look, if you like old school commentary, like those old school message boards, like a Nutkin Land, like Circus Maximus, like the old Eric Noah boards, EN World now is pretty much just RPGNet Lite. EN World is run by a complete and utter turd named Russ Morris.
Yeah,
he's a fucking retard. So they are not quite as crazy as RPGNet, but they're getting there. So yeah, I have not fired up my EN World account. Maybe I think I've logged in like maybe twice in the last 7 years.
Every time I think of EN World, I think of Brooklyn Knight.
Oh, Brooklyn Knight, yeah.
It's
Brooklyn
Batman.
Knight, yeah.
I think a pirate cat.
Pirate cat, yeah.
Yeah, dear pirate cat.
Dear pirate cat.
He's nutty too. I tell you what though, I met him in person. He seemed like a very nice guy. I actually got to play with his wife, Pirate Cat's wife. She was nice. And then play an RPG game. Yeah, she was very nice too. But obviously, they'd probably think differently if they found out what I've been up to lately. I used to just be the. That's the thing about a lot of these people. When like we weren't in power, like over the Obama years, it's almost like they said, "Oh, just let him go. He's just like the token conservative. What harm can he do?" And then when Trump won, they just immediately were like, "Oh my God, now he's a threat." Well, it's like, no, I'm the same person I always was. It's you who changed. I had no problem getting along with you. I called you a commie. But, I knew we could game together. A lot of these people now, nope. Nope.
Chris Miller's backstory is fascinating.
What happened in January of 2017? Who was sworn in as president? That's not surprising, Chris. He broke them, and he's already breaking them again. Like I was saying to the boys off air. It's 3 fucking weeks, and they're losing their minds. How are they going to keep this up?
They got to burn out.
You would think so, but they did a pretty good job. I guess the people
buy stock in Red Bull.
yeah, it's not a bad idea. They have an endless well of hatred in them. I'm not saying I love Joe Biden. I picked and chose my spots, but I knew I couldn't keep up 4 years of hate. So when he did something particularly dumb, I would comment on it. But it wasn't like every fucking day, like DEFCON 5 or 1 or whatever. Jeez.
We know how carrying that energy is just exhausting. We talked about that before, and I just see in the not too distant future some serious flameouts with a handful of these
Hold
people.
on. Let me have that, Crazy Mouse.
It's all you.
1 second here. You didn't see. Let's see. I'll get that in a second. Patty, yeah. Did not see the stream on Wumble. That's because I forgot to start it, Patty. I just started it now. I'm sorry, buddy.
Should be up and running.
Should be up and running. Yep. Sorry, guys. I had a little account issues on OBS that I had to go on, and that kind of took me out of my my regular thing of starting up Rumble and Twitter. Should be started now. So sorry. I'll grab that one. Thank you, buddy. All yours now, Crazy Mouse. Snake Oil Sean, 5 memberships.
Oh, man.
Boom. You the man. Thank you, my friend.
Mr. Generous.
Look at this. Tells us Patty was gifted a membership. Loquacious. Kenzakai. Icebox. Justin Henley. Tells you everybody who was the beneficiary of your largesse.
That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Very
as always, guys, for all the super chats, all the donations. Love it.
Yeah, look at Patty. This is so ironical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like it all worked out, man. It's
Patty.
like it was. It's meant to be. Please thank Snake Oil Sean, as it was him, and Mercurius too. Gifted membership as well. Like I said, thank you guys. Appreciate it. I know one way they could chill.
Oh.
Was that chewing tobacco? What is that?
Man, that's weed, bro.
Hey, man.
Preparing for
Hippie
liftoff.
lettuce.
I'm so sick of this. I don't even particularly. It's not like I hate this account or anything, but I told them what I think. Make sure you go out in public reeking of it too, because everybody loves that smell, don't we, boys?
Oh, dude.
When you're next to someone at the fucking store that just reeks of this stuff. I'm tired of it.
I had to take
Just
someone.
tired.
It was yesterday at 8 a.m. I had to pick up some guy and give him a ride to the dispensary. He's like, I already smoked this morning. I just want to get a DUI. And I'm thinking 8 a.m. and you're baked already.
Yeah.
All right.
That's how you want to listen. I don't touch this stuff. Look, if you treat it like a beer on the weekends, that's okay. I'm going to assume then you don't go out in public just reeking of it. But look, if it's like Crazy Mouse just said, wake and bake, you're getting up at 8 a.m. smoking this stuff on a weekday, you're a fucking loser.
You got a problem.
Yeah, you are a fuck.
Yeah.
If it was alcohol, we would call you an alcoholic. Okay, but for some reason, this little substance here has mind fucked and tricked everybody into thinking like, oh, bro, man,
it's from the earth.
It's from the earth, man. This shit is natural.
I tell you what, when I was younger and through high school and young man, I'm very liberal in respect to my attitude toward that.
Yeah.
Let's legalize it, absolutely. But when you become a father, you change your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a difference between somebody who's 19 and 20, doing it, and you're like, all right, come on now. All right, you had your fun. Time to get a job and let's fucking go. And generally speaking, fine. I mean, it's your life. If you just want to have zero ambition,
check this out.
There you go. Ooh, Aaron the Relentless. New Year's resolution: maintaining sobriety.
Congratulations
so far.
Stay strong.
Stay strong,
yeah,
brother.
one
We're
step
with
at
you.
A time, yo.
Yes,
that's awesome.
Dark Knight of Hibernia. €2. Ever so often I smell a skunk at work. It reeks. Yeah.
Oh man.
That's where I'm starting to like, I went from like, yeah, legalize it. I don't care. And I mean, I guess I don't think we should be throwing people in prison, for this. But as usual, you can't rely on people to do the right thing. You know, and just like, all right, you smoke a little, but don't go out and let everybody know that you've been smoking all day. Of course you wouldn't want to do that. People would think you're a loser. Well, now it doesn't fucking matter because I guess this is all fine.
I remember we were talking about this quite a while back before, there was talking about the years and years ago. And my thought, again, transitioning from, hey, do whatever you want, man, have fun, but into like, you know what? I don't want the guy working on my brakes to be stoned out of his frickin' mind.
How about the bus driver for your kids? School bus.
Yes.
That takes it from point A to point B real quick, doesn't it?
It does.
Because you go from like, let him go, and then all of a sudden like, oh, so I mean, it's okay then for the guy doing the train or the bus, or the taxi driver or the Uber driver. I mean, they're probably okay, right? Taking your kid home. Oh, no. All right, well, then, which is it?
Right. Then you
exactly.
Hearing that loser saying, oh, man, I do it all the time. I drive fine. Which is what every alcoholic says as well.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't excuse it for alcohol, so why should we excuse it for this? So, look, you want to fuck up your life, like I said, and just have no ambition. I ain't stopping you. I'm just saying, why would you want to do that? And I'm not doing it from like a moral point of view. I'm doing it from nobody will really respect you if you wake and bake 7 days a week. It's not going to happen. If you treat it like like I said, if you treat it like a beer on the weekends and just like, I just smoke a little to relax a little, but that's it. I don't. Okay, then we're good. We're good. Yeah, so I took a little quarter dose, got a little buzz, but it lasted for hours and hours. Yeah. I was reading Funky Labs there.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know they're making it easier and easier just to walk around. Like, I guess my question is, what are you numbing yourself from? Okay, welcome to Dr. D's office. What are you numbing yourself from that you need to be constantly alter your state of mind? What don't you like about yourself? What did you regret in your life? Maybe you should talk to a therapist and come to grips with that before, torching up.
No shame in that.
24/7.
There's no shame in that.
Well, no, yeah. I mean, that's what everybody should do. None of us are perfect. We all have regrets, but if your regrets are so bad that this is your answer, to just numb yourself all the time with either booze or weed or that. I mean, come on. It's meant to be like a social thing, go out, have a drink with a friend. Hell, like I said, I'll even admit, if you want to have some guys come over and, smoke a little, one night of the week, okay, that's fine. But fuck. Yeah, if you must, weed is for home, never as you roam. Tell that to the bums in our city park. Where I work is like right next door to our main city park. And when I walk in the summertime, it fucking reeks from all the homeless people there who apparently do have the money to buy fucking weed. It just wafts on the air. Asterion Moloch, $5. Why would you even want to wake and bake every day? It's got to take the fun out. Well, it's because you become a drug addict after a while, I think, Asterion. Thank you.
Like you said, you're trying to numb something.
Yeah. But the thing is, we can't call it that nowadays. Because, no, they're not a drug addict. It's just marijuana. They're not a drug addict. No, you are a drug addict. Pundit, it pisses me off that there are cities where people can smoke weed anywhere, but you can't smoke a tobacco. But yeah, exactly. The hypocrisy is just unbelievable. And I would rather smell some nice smelling like pipe tobacco. Who doesn't, like that? You get back in the day, you get like one guy, smoking either, a nice fine smelling cigar or like pipe tobacco. That would be fine with me. Rather than this shit.
I see the hypocrisy in that. My parents were heavy smokers, so any kind of smoke, I still can't handle it.
Well, we would go back out. We would go out to the bars in the day, and you would come home, and your clothes would just reek of smoke. And I was young, so I didn't mind. I mean, I don't miss that part of it. And look, smoking in general is just probably not good for you. But in the same respect, this whole fucking weed thing. If you guys are hooked on this, get help.
I remember those, Chris Miller. In fact, you didn't have to be 18 to go buy stuff. My brother smoked a pipe, and I used to buy him tobacco from that store, Captain's Quarters or something like that at our mall.
It was a Tobacco Land before that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Tobacco Land. Yeah, I remember that distinctly.
Inside the mall.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember when I would go on audit trips out of town, like my boss, there was like 3 of us guys, and our boss, he was... we hung out like gentlemen. He insisted on smoking cigars, so I bought and I'm not a smoker, but I just wanted something that would smell good, so I would get like cherry pipe tobacco cigars. Oh, it smelled so good.
Swisher Sweets,
yes. Go ahead, get Asterion.
We got another
Thank you so much, Asterion. $5. Cigar smokers really are the only smokers that aren't obnoxious about it somehow. Yeah. Yeah, we had a cigar bar here in our town for a while. I think it closed.
Scotty's,
yeah. Yep. Did you guys hear this? President Trump. It's how can you be against this? For too long, the U.S. has minted pennies, which literally cost us more than 2 cents. So you're minting something for 1 cent that costs 2 cents to mint. So wasteful, he's now instructed the U.S. Treasury to stop producing new pennies.
Didn't Canada stop doing the same thing years and years ago?
I thought so. I thought so. We really don't need them.
Let us know. But I thought that they did that quite a while back.
Yep. And it's like, this is one we can probably get rid of. So I agree. Like, he's doing great.
I want to hear their argument then. Like, we just said it out loud.
Yeah.
Wait, we should still make penny. Like, what are they upset about now?
We should pay twice as much to make them as... Yeah, because
Chris Miller says pennies cost 3.1 cents to make.
There you go.
I believe that.
Trump might have even been off there. All right, so we're going to go rapid fire here.
Critical Role has finally announced a release date for the highly anticipated Daggerheart TTRPG. The new RPG, created by Critical Role's Darrington Press publishers, will hit local game stores first on May 20th, before getting a wide release at bookstores and other retailers on June 3rd. This move follows D&D's new policy of giving local game stores a similar 2-week or so window of early releases on their new books before they hit other stores, which is great for encouraging those stores to stock the new Daggerheart system.
I love
the
this.
other bit of info we got was a look at the 6 campaign frames that will launch with the new rulebook. Campaign frames being Daggerheart's version of a campaign setting, basically. The one that's getting a lot of attention and has the biggest appeal for us is the Beast Feast campaign frame, which is described as a cozy cooking and dungeoneering setting that seems very heavily inspired by the very popular Delicious in Dungeon anime.
right, so I'll get Badgers here.
Is that making Ossobuco? What's that guy making?
I don't know. Badger for 5. I get it. Sometimes it takes a shot or two to get through the day. I've always preferred 9mm. Ooh, hey, there you go. We like those kind of shots, Badger. Yep. Especially the 7.62. Yeah, what is this?
Netflix by storm over the last year. And features friend of the channel, Damian Huss. So if you're looking forward to checking out the final version of Daggerheart and its 2d12 based system of Fear and Hope dice, just head to your local game store on May 20th and you can grab yourself a copy.
You've come to the right place.
Is that the guy that bangs the Batmobile girl?
Yes.
Yes, that's his wife, yeah.
He's sporting that Jesus look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not crying about shortcut grass or whatever. Fresh cut grass.
Yeah, fresh cut grass, yeah. The robot that destroyed himself. Yeah. So this kind of proves to me like that I think Daggerheart is just peeling off like part of D&D's like lunatic audience. Fucking like a cooking
I think it was. I think that's like Ossobuco.
I don't know, but it's like, why would you want to sit down and play a fantasy role-playing game where you talk about cooking? This is just
my character
so
is
crazy.
Rachel. My character is Rachel Ray.
The Radiant Citadel was such a blast. It sold gazillions. Why not follow through?
Oh yeah. And it's like, all right. The hope fear thing, I don't know. A long time ago when they first released it, I was not impressed with the mechanics, but I understand their desire to get their own intellectual property out there so they're not reliant on D&D anymore. That way they can ride or die with their own thing. So I get that. I just don't think it's very good.
Patrick likes it.
To be fair, Delicious in Dungeon is a fantastic anime, but he doesn't want to play it as a campaign setting. Leave it alone, Daggerheart. Yeah, I mean, stuff can be entertaining as an amusing
sidebar.
Yeah, like a show, or like kind of like junk food, TV. You watch it and forget it, and boy, that was not too bad.
Chris Miller says it's the #1 baking RPG, according to RPGNet.
But yeah, like Rogan said, like do we not get enough of this in like Radiant Citadel? Why is cooking become so intertwined with these people as far as like D&D goes?
Well, they're going after middle-aged women now.
Well, it's that girl in the intro about the refrigerator.
Yeah. I need control 1 second.
Getting cut in half. Welcome, Surly.
Yeah. There we go. Hopefully we'll be able to see the messages from Rumble. Yeah, sorry guys, I was out of sorts. Like I said, a technical issue threw me into a tizzy early on, but I'm here. It's good. I just as far as Daggerheart goes, it does not seem to be. I'll give it this. It seems better than Money Matt's game.
00s, baby.
I'm back. There you go. At least Daggerheart knew what it kind of wanted to be. In the hope fear thing, it's a nice little gimmick. I don't think it'll sustain anything. It's so hard to like. It's so hard to have like a game will shift like the paradigm of this, because it's so dominated by D&D and the various like OSR D&D like offshoots and stuff like that. But hey, wish him luck or not. I don't really care.
So it's a 2D
2D12.
D12. Oh, D12.
Yeah, it's D12. Yeah, because conflict is linked to colonialism and misogyny.
Here we got a Rumble post right here.
There we go. Yes. No drugs for me either. Never into them. Yep. God bless you, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not saying if you've ever, smoked.
And thank you for your service there too. He's been in the military.
Yeah, absolutely.
Military.
Absolutely. If you've ever done that stuff, I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying if you're doing it all the fucking time,
you have issues.
What do you? Yeah. What are you hiding?
Like, I'm drunk all the time.
Yeah.
Well, then you have an issue.
Yeah. You're numbing yourself. You're putting a Band-Aid on your life. And trust me, you're going to be better off. Eventually, you're going to realize, like, boy, I wasted a lot of time and ran through a lot of people.
bitter dregs.
Edgelord, $2. He changed his name back, didn't he? Wasn't Edgelord one of the ones who changed his name? Okay, Gaylord cooking an anti-pot talk. I need Spock. Yes, there you go. Thank you, Edgelord. Yeah, Pundit reminds us the Radiant Citadel was the worst-selling adventure book of 5e. Yeah, a lot of those ones. Now, granted, they were a little bit towards the end, but I think the content had a lot to do with it. Candlekeep Mysteries, I think, was another one that didn't sell particularly well, especially compared to other stuff. Basically, I think anything after Tasha's, I think Tasha's Cauldron was like the canary in the coal mine. I think some people, maybe they didn't start YouTube channels about it, but maybe they just quietly said, "I'm just going to go backwards from here." You know, I'm either going to stay put or go backwards. I'm not going any further with these people. And how smart they were to do such.
Critical Role has finally announced a
Double D, come on now. A lot of gremlins. All right, crazy video time?
Sure. Let's do that.
All right, so we all know Seattle is the home of D&D. Right?
I used to run around with a girl from Seattle.
Marge.
Mm-hmm. Tell him Large Marge.
Tell him Large Marge sent you. She was not large back in the day.
She was not.
She was pretty hot. Home of Seattle. Home in Seattle is D&D. Also Pathfinder from Paizo. They're in Seattle too. Green Ronin, I believe, is in Seattle. All in the Seattle area. They do a lot of like forestry there.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of trees up in Washington.
A lot of rain in that area.
A lot of rain, a lot of tree, a lot of stuff grows. Very green state.
Mount Rainier.
Yep. Now, did you guys know that if you're a logger, you may displace like a coyote? Maybe a couple of coyotes die.
No. Really?
Yep. All right. So here we go. Some young activists wanted to let a city council know that coyotes were on their mind.
What the?
Oh, heavens to Betsy.
This is for a wild dog that will attack your child if it had the opportunity. It'll kill your
Look at that guy in the last row. Is he kind of chuckling?
I think so. Yeah, the guy in the gray like suit. Yeah.
No. Right back. Right. Him.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
yeah. He's got like a jacket on.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I love the one who's going woo woo woo.
Oh boy.
Give them extra effort. Yeah, they're drawing attention to the coyotes. These people just doing their business as these spoiled brats.
It's almost as if I've seen this before.
Yeah.
They were here yesterday.
Yeah. This is Washington after all.
It's the girl in the black that's doing that.
I never fail to be marveled by this stuff. For some reason, it always surprises me, and it shouldn't.
Another Star Trek callback there. The space hippies. Herbert.
Pundit says woke activism goes full furry.
Yeah. Yep.
At least do it the right way. Wear the frickin' costume. Dedicate.
Yeah, make it visually interesting.
Go all in.
They made it audibly interesting. All right.
Lord Otter says he's never getting those 2 minutes back. Good thing you.
I got more for you, Otter.
Good thing
I
you
got
weren't
more
at the meeting.
I got more. Now we like guys who are in touch with their emotions, right? No, we don't. No, we don't. Not at all. Here's one.
Hey, I've never done this before. Just wanted to share that. Our world sucks right now.
Crazy mouse.
Well, he's upset about the pennies.
Yeah. Our world sucks now. I can't make proper change.
This guy's suffering from low T.
My fear. My biggest fear is that I will no longer have the validity to recognize that I'm a married man to my life.
Huh? Kind of trailed off there. The validity that he's a married man. I don't know
To who, what? To
I don't
what?
know who or what he's married to, but nobody's taking away your marriage, Tiger.
Do you know what my biggest fear is?
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
Reminds me of that girl holding the camera in that movie where they were hiking through the forest.
Oh, the Blair Witch. Yeah, the Blair Witch. Yeah.
And that nincompoop threw the map away.
I threw it away. I kicked it.
Wow. Dude, like, have the balls to cry by yourself. Seriously, just all right. You feel like I gotta cry?
It used to
happen.
Used to be a time men would look. There used to be a time if a man would cry in the sanctity of his own home, he would be afraid that it got out.
Yes.
You know, and that was over probably something that was worth some tears. Now, no, you just fire up the TikTok machine and
make some content.
Let her rip.
I cried when my children were born. I cried when Frank Zappa died.
Yeah.
And I cried when Joe Strummer passed away.
Yep. Yeah.
I ain't afraid to say that either.
Handful of times over the last several years, yeah. But
I'm once in 2025 I shed a tear at my Uncle Lenny's funeral, and in last year I know I cried in my it's few.
I mean, it's a couple. You're allowed to. Death of a pet. I shed some tears. When our beloved cats died. Just a little bit. Like, oh man, I'm gonna miss them. It's not. It wasn't a breaking down sobbing thing.
I don't think I've ever. I can't think the last time I've been like uncontrollable.
Yeah. No. There's only been a couple of times in my life that I've done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I couldn't even think of when like one of them was.
Yif in hell, furfag. A common retort in my youth, says Ryan Nikolai. Yep. The good old days. I'm going to guess you're Gen X.
What was popular saying back in the day? No doy.
No doy.
No doy.
Yeah, you had to emphasize the doy.
No doy.
No doy.
Sit on it, Potsy.
The first is to everybody in the United States, and you taught me this when I was 5 in 1992. If we want to be somebody, and if we want to go somewhere, we really need to wake up and pay attention. I love you so much. And Sister Act is like my reason for existence. And it's season 3. If you need a cameo, I'm here. Okay. Now, Sister Act 3, not season 3. Just that talk. Okay, so now, for our community, I think what's so important, I thought about this last night. I was like, has anyone ever said we need to put the unity back in community? Yes. Because I think really on the left, it just with the LGBTQIA+ community, we need to.
Even he can't keep the letters straight. They all stumble over it.
Dave Chappelle calls them the alphabet people.
Yep. Patrick Demo, $5. I don't understand the absolute need to show everyone on the planet your emotional diarrhea. Social media has truly done a number on humanity. It has. We are not capable of handling it. It's like you should have a license to do it. Everybody here would pass. We would get our license.
Sit on it and rotate.
Together, and we have decades and decades of experience.
What are we watching here? We're watching a guy
World War II, the Lavender
pretending
Scare,
he's a
the AIDS
woman,
crisis,
but
through the
growing a
Domestic
beard.
Marriage Act era, all the way to now. We've stuck together before. We have to do it more than ever before now. We have to stick together, and that's not only our community, but that's intersectional solidarity.
Yes.
Has to be amongst every community. And let just we got to be together. So that's the biggest thing that I can think of right now.
Well, beautifully said.
What does intersectional mean? 'Cause I think that's a word that's been tossed around that for some reason, depending on who uses it, means something completely different.
I don't know.
I could be very wrong.
To me, it just when I hear intersectional, I'm like, oh, that's crazy. There's something crazy is about to enter my mind. $5, Matt Thompson. Pardon the completely unrelated sticker, guys. Passes note. Hey, JP, it's Scottish Guard at Gmail. Oh, okay. I think he's giving a message here. Scottish Guard at Gmail. Thank you, Mac. You spent $5 to tell that.
To pass that note.
Pass that note.
Well spent.
All right, let's end on a high note as far as our crazy people. Then we'll go back to more D&D type stuff.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people.
In the words of George Lucas, faster and more intense.
Trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
The lyrics are a little repetitive.
We love trans people. Trans people belong here.
I can think of some movie scanners right now.
We love trans
I'm sorry, I went right to the Wingstop girl. And the other thing I thought of is, remember that video of the person blocking the highway and someone threw a traffic cone and hit her in the head?
Yeah, yes, yeah, perfect shot. Yeah.
Pull that video up, Jamie.
I mean, these liberal white women, they're going to be the death of us.
There's no shame.
They're going to be the death of us.
And they vote.
Mushroom Brigade. That was painful.
There you go. Just the thing is, a lot of people would look at that. A lot of her fellow lunatic women would be like, "What's the matter? She's just passionate."
All the single middle-aged men are looking at that, going, "That is hot."
You know, the funny thing is that wasn't on a loop. That was just her riffing. Yeah. She had to take that little pause to breathe, like on the 12th chorus or something like that.
No. All right, so I was looking back. You know, we do a lot of breakdown of.
Hold on, Double D. We got a little shout out right here. We got a mouse
Jeff
dropping.
from $5. Broken people need validation and are desperate for it. Yes, the socialists being the current social movements see easy victims to exploit. Yeah, it really is insidious, isn't it, Jeffrem?
A Wingstop.
It's like a Wingstop girl. Yeah. It's almost like a parasitic relationship. The socialists use these people. They suck them dry of all their humanity, all their intelligence too. They don't care as long as they get their vote. They leave like empty shells until they wake up. And one day they walk out. What the hell have I been doing the last 10 years?
You know, let's be up from another point of view. Whatever that was, like a town hall or something, people will remember her.
Oh, yeah. If she was looking to create a viral moment, I mean,
she got it.
It's for the wrong reasons, but still, yeah. I mean, for some people, it's like, I don't care. There's no such thing as bad
Hey, how was
publicity.
the town hall meeting? What happened? Oh, fucking Lucy got up there and started screaming.
She did her song again.
YouTube it, dude. YouTube it.
Yeah. All right. We look at a lot of live plays, right? Over the couple years we've been doing it.
Learned a lot.
Learned a lot.
Xander's got an idea.
Yeah, we can relocate. Oh, yeah. Let's hope so. I was looking back. We never looked at an Acquisitions Incorporated, which I think is from Penny. Is it Penny Arcade, guys, in the chat? But I came across one of their old videos, and I was just like, oh, this live play back in 2010, even though it has Will Wheaton and Scott Kurtz in it, who are absolute, horrible, just monstrous people. Still, back then,
they're saying yes to Penny Arcade.
Yeah, Penny Arcade. I mean, look, back then, this was fine. And I'm like, yeah, in 2010, this captured kind of the zeitgeist of what playing D&D was all about.
Thank you for coming.
We all know that. Chris Perkins, 15 years ago.
This game is brought to you by the Red Box.
Is that the cover of that con?
How many of you are playing a dungeon?
I think it's I think he did like an off, kind of like a homage to it.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Yeah, that's more the cartoon people.
Okay.
If you see that, yeah, that's more the cartoon people. Yeah.
Dungeons & Dragons game. Well, not right now, but currently.
Classic.
How many of you
Elmore
cut
art.
your teeth on the original Red Box or one of its kin? All right.
Celebrating how we all came up at the time.
Oh, and the controversy about that the dude was actually a woman. Remember that?
What dude?
The dude on the.
The Elmore art. Yeah. When they say, they said it was. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that.
I made that picture. It's a dude.
Patrick Demo, $2. Joyce just said they need to songify the crazy lady. Yeah. Put a beat down behind it. Yep.
Get the Wingstop
I'd be
guy to do
shocked
it.
if somebody didn't already do it,
Absolutely.
Patrick.
I'll buy that for $1.
Yeah, but yeah, tell Joyce she's definitely on the right track there.
All right.
Live audience, 2010.
He humbly requests that you refer to him by his full name.
But I can't pronounce his full name. And playing the minion, Mr. Stinky. And formerly playing Aelafel Elromain, Will Wheaton.
Who we hate, but he wasn't so bad back in this time. I mean, he probably was. We just didn't. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Get these guys.
If you're willing to help pony up the money to maybe get them, brought back from the dead.
That sounds great because there's actually an ongoing legal dispute. There's a wrongful death suit against Binwin Bronzebottom, who was our employee at the time of the death.
Technically.
A lot of paperwork.
Hey guys, I'm just a guy walking through your office because I'm fans of yours.
Scott
I think
Kurtz
it's a
is
good
so-
idea,
so
and you should
fat.
go save Ale.
I feel bad for the guy. He has gotten only bigger over the years. He is a guy.
The guy in the horns?
Yeah. He's a cartoonist. He's a terrible guy too.
What year was this?
This is 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
Poor Orc Child was asking. Thank you.
Yeah. And these two now hate each other. Like Will Wheaton said, I can't stand Scott Kurtz anymore. I don't know if Scott Kurtz ever said anything about Will Wheaton. I mean, look, he probably said, look, Will Wheaton's a moron. But
Right.
Phil.
2010.
Bye now.
You get the sense, yeah, they're playing to the crowd a little bit, but they're also kind of playing for each other.
It's not scripted.
That is not the right guy.
That is, well, DMing is Chris Perkins. I don't know if Todd Kendrick is on the other side of the team.
Yeah, but I mean, in this economy, gold's tight. I mean, what are we talking about?
It's like between 5,000 and 10,000.
Whoa! Nope, that's too much. Wow.
No, you don't have to worry about it.
I'm trying to run a business here.
Temple, I know. Temple is very sympathetic to your business interests, and they'd be willing to pony up the dough. They just want you to participate in the ritual, maybe hold a few candles, say a few words.
What is required?
Yeah, their friend Trevor has a band. He wants to play.
So these are guys that pretty much know how to play D&D. And yeah, they're goofing off. They're playing to the crowd a little bit. But you could almost see, like, if they had a session, all right, it might not be, if they were playing in private, it wouldn't be too far off of this, right? I mean, there might be a little less playing to the crowd, but they'd still probably be,
Chris says the guy in the cloak. Are you referring to this guy?
Is that Kendrick? Todd, what's his name?
Todd
We'll see him
Newton?
again.
Todd Newton?
Todd Newton. I got a video of them too. So, I mean, we'll go a little bit more.
Hey guys, it's me, the guy that was just in but left. And I thought I'd tell you that holding candles is a small price to pay.
I think it was about this time I saw Will Wheaton at Gen Con. Remember that when he was there that
Yes.
1 year? I passed right by him and his wife.
Yes.
I was just like, oh, hey, there goes Will Wheaton. I didn't realize what a complete nutter.
DJ Widget says the guy in the cloak is not.
I didn't think so.
It's Mike Krulhick.
Krulhick, yeah. Thank you, DJ Widget. Yeah,
From Penny
Arcade. Okay, and I know the bald guy. All these guys don't make it except that bald guy. I think is still around because I'm about to show you what this has morphed into in 2025.
Hey, forgetting your friend.
But I wanted to say and look, it's not just that. It's all white guys.
In a basement?
In a basement, yeah, more or less. I mean, it looks like it's shot in a basement. 2010 camera technology.
Bye!
Still.
All they really want you to do is say something in the course of casting.
And look, our last couple sessions of, our campaign, been a lot of, I don't want to say goofing off, but a lot of jokes. Let's just say a lot of jokes. Most of them at Rogan's character's expense. But, so I don't know. I'm like, all right, I can see them saying like, hey, if you want to play D&D, this is sort of what it's like.
That's relatable, right?
Yeah, that was relatable. Now let's see what it's become. This is from like a year or two ago.
So I think a few things happened last session.
Oh, my stomach hurts already.
So already we don't. So what do we notice already? All right, we don't get Chris Perkins.
Is it the same bald guy?
It's the same bald guy, I believe. Yeah, he is the lone survivor, and he went for being.
Me and Chris Miller just did it at the same time.
Same bald guy, yeah. He's kind of like the R2, probably more like the C-3PO. He gets to walk the whole journey and see what it's become. So he goes from Chris Perkins to Jeremy Crawford, who, as we know, is probably, as much as we don't like Chris Perkins, like Jeremy Crawford is probably inferior in just about every way.
Oh, God. Horrible DM.
Mad.
Mad.
Well, I mean, one or two. I think that was a lot of work for Chris in the intro.
And so, you now see that clone missile not only rising up through the roof of what used to be Acquisitions Incorporated and is now the Clown Palace, subsidized by Drawn Enterprises, and from the base of this rocket,
the flared base,
flames are beginning to emit.
So you can tell already his DM style. When Chris Perkins was doing it back in the day, he is talking a little bit to the audience, but mostly to his players.
Absolutely.
You can tell already like Crawford is grandstanding here, like being a showman like he always does. He starts out with a bang, as always.
The whole neighborhood is rumbling. Your friend, Bobby Zimborowski, lover of cheese, leapt up onto the roof and cracked the tip of the rocket. You are not sure where Bobby is now, for your attention is upon your sister Portentia, Omen, and standing next to her, the double-swole Rakdos.
Yes.
The demon lord of the Rakdos blood cult. The rest of you.
I mean, talking about fucking missiles and just what are we playing here?
Think about they had missiles. His previous campaign had motorcycles.
This is the guy in charge, almost in charge of D&D, like on a technical basis.
Yeah.
He's awful. I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than he's awful.
Nick, you're right. You're right.
I heard from my insider, one of my insiders, that he's very arrogant as well. Like Chris, say what you want about Chris Perkins, and he hates white people, and he's wrong. But I've heard internally, like Chris Perkins is actually very nice, and will answer any question about the rules or anything like that from fellow employees. Jeremy Crawford is a little erudite. I mean, this is awful. Edgelord, $5. Have mercy. Multiple consecutive Crawford videos are cruel torture. I'm afraid I have to report you to the Geneva Convention. Never heard of it.
Are still out on the street with the horde of dancing clowns.
What did you miss, tabletop RPGer? You're gonna have to go back and watch it. We covered a lot of ground, as they say.
You missed a song.
Yeah.
You missed Weeping Coyotes.
Yep, Weeping Coyotes. You missed my convention plans. A lot of things. Watch it when this is over. Watch it from the beginning. Thank you so much, though.
By Celestial.
But this guy's just this lone survivor. I don't even know who he is.
Patty, where are you going? Where are you going?
Oh, check out. Thanks again, Snigog.
No.
He's going to put that
Patty.
song to a beat. That's where he's.
I forbid you. I forbid you from leaving. No. Take care, Patty.
We'll give him a hall pass.
Thank you for letting us know about Rumble.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. That was a boo-boo on my part.
But it worked out perfect because you got a free membership.
I look at this and I immediately thought of Howard versus Lovecraft. How Howard can write so eloquently.
Yeah,
using
the
fractions
action.
of the words
Yeah.
that Lovecraft uses.
Yeah.
And Howard just makes the action actionable. And this guy doesn't know what the frick left is from right. As long as he can portray it where people might think it's enjoyable, which it's not.
Yeah. Pundit says that Crawford's a midwit, someone who's probably thinks he's a little smarter than he actually is, even if he's not a complete moron. I'll buy that. And I mean, I know you had to deal with him. Yeah, Subotai says he's a midwit.
I like that word, midwit.
Yeah. I'm always afraid people are going to say I'm a midwit, but at least I'm not insufferable like Crawford, says Magnificent Devil. I don't know. But it's like not only that, like maybe this is what people think D&D is. A DM who's just railroading you through his vision. We got that, check. We got like one white guy who's feeling like a stranger in his own game, check. And 3 fucking women who probably are just there for other purposes. And I'm not saying like every woman who plays, not the case. We have two women in my group. They're there for the right reasons. I don't know. To me, this
Donna,
isn't
the Duchess of
this
Delight,
isn't what the
AKA
average D&D
Diamond,
group even is today.
Evelyn's new best friend.
As far as like makeup.
No. Absolutely not.
And so
These girls are here to be seen.
Yes.
Oh, I can be in an Acquisitions Incorporated video. Sign me up.
And they're not even eye candy.
No, not really. No.
The way that she has her hair reminds me of the girl that sang "Hey Mickey."
Oh, Tony Basil.
Yeah.
Oh, the one on the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickey.
Did you ever notice?
Did you ever notice that every single character in these stupid live plays has some absolutely batshit character quirk, retarded name, or foppish affectation? Yeah.
Did you ever notice?
And I will say this, even though that thank you, Patrick. Even though that first video was kind of like, oh, this is sort of like how a D&D. Pretty soon after that, they started like dressing for the occasion, which probably started the slow slide towards, their downfall. It also portended the rise of like Critical Role and things like that.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, I always wondered that. Who was
Mickey's fine. She's so fine.
Yeah, eye candy not allowed on the left anymore. Yep.
So,
got to be in a burlap sack.
what do you do?
Which did Marilyn Monroe went and made that
right?
famous?
Yeah. I think
Remember
that's
that?
a great place to start.
Yep.
How do you feel about onticide?
Listen.
Anticide.
Yeah, we don't, honestly, it's like we're going to have to invent a word for it, but we can call it something after we do it.
Yeah, because this one is not working.
Yeah, this.
So she's like trying to make a joke there. We all know, look, just simple fact, women not that funny naturally. I'm not saying there hasn't ever been a funny woman, but she's trying to make a joke there. It was a joke meant for the audience. Like it wasn't meant to like crack up like their fellow players. Right. It was like meant for the audience. Like, oh, this will kill.
This ant is
it
not
didn't.
working
All right,
out.
I'm gonna hold
and
it
I've
down.
got an ant guy. I've got an ant guy
We can get another one in.
Is the ant guy you?
Yes. Yeah, with the wig. So
I'll go low, you go high.
exactly right.
Wish I knew.
And she's behind some kind of a.
So Rakdos and Portentia, as well as the sorcerer Kellic and other lookers-on, are all behind crystalline blast shields. There, many of them with cocktails, ready to watch the launch of the clone missile.
I feel like we could do the anti-side maybe after we stop the missile. I feel like that's the most pressing, maybe.
Well, it could be a two-bird.
God, it'd be just horrible.
That's a good still shot. And does the crest on her Letterman's jacket say M?
It does, actually. That is an M.
Hey,
I think we
Mickey.
found Mickey.
Hey,
Maybe,
Mickey.
I mean, is it possible she was cosplaying as Tony Ballard? I remember that as being like more bluish in the video,
And
right?
that skirt was
Blue
white
and red.
really short skirt.
Yeah. God. Make it stop, says Edgelord. I don't know.
Prince with one stone situation.
Viewers are rising.
What if we-
That's all I can say.
We got 2
Bobby
hours of
cracked
this,
the
man.
missile. What if we reorient the missile to go through that flash shield?
I think that was from the earlier one, DJ Widget. Yeah.
Is there anyone serving them?
Yeah, and it's like, look, I hate Will Wheaton, but I can look back and separate myself and be like, oh yeah, well, look, back then nobody knew how big of a jerk he was, and look, I don't even think Will Wheaton knew how big of a jerk he was back then. That was when he was still,
or that he was going to be.
Yeah, exactly. He was still talking about having great times with his father, and then when the roles started drying up, he started to declare war on his parents.
Yes.
And of course, Trump broke him too. Completely.
A number of attendants wearing drawn Enterprises.
What is this clone missile? I keep thinking, like, is this like did we stumble on like a Star Wars? Are we being unfair here? But then he said, like, oh no, there's a demon and stuff like that.
This is they bought that from the same store, the motorcycle and the mountain of skulls.
Mad Maggie.
Yeah.
Is Mad Maggie gonna make an appearance? Ugh. All right, $5 Canadian. Jeffrem. Rakdos is from the Magic the Gathering Ravnica setting. Okay, well that makes sense. The cult basically is a chaotic evil circus pleasure cult led by the demon lord named Rakdos. Okay, thank you so much.
You know an awful
Jeffrem.
lot about that.
Yeah. I knew about Ravnica. Obviously didn't know it. I knew it existed, I should say. Didn't know any details about it. I mean, let's just say this is not my cup of tea. Like if I was choosing a game and it was about clone missiles and like circus pleasure cults led by a demon lord and probably a bunch of other just weird stuff. I don't know.
Tabards. And they all look rather dazed. So dazed, in fact, that there are not metaphorical but literal spirals going around in their eyes as they bring
little spot check and see what you
that
see.
are of luminous colors.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you everything because they're here to see me because I'm Jeremy Crawford, the gay blade. Jeff from Denkar, $2 Canadian. Ravnica, a world city does have magic tech devices. Okay, well, definitely not my cup of tea then. Wine tasting adventure.
Some of them smoking, others appear to have eyeballs in them, depending upon the drinker. As you notice this, Rakdos, this towering figure, looks directly at you, Omen, and through his voice projecting through this blast shield somehow, says,
Blast shield?
You will not stop the launch of this missile. There is then a...
How late do you think he was up the night before practicing?
Oh, in the mirror all night long. Oh, yes.
If I do it like this,
yeah,
you will not stop. No, that's no good. You will not stop.
He did a couple of whippets before running out on stage. Had to perk himself up there.
Good Lord. It's awful. Awful.
Cyclone of fire. Where he was standing, it spiraled.
It's like they're not being railroaded because they're even in a railroad, you actually get to do something. There's actually the illusion of like free will. He's literally just telling them a story, and they just have to listen to it.
The gray-haired girl hasn't said a word, has she?
Hardly.
She hasn't had the opportunity. She's the only one I'm actually okay with, because maybe she's pissed.
Into the floor, and then a split second later spirals right back up in front of you, standing between you and the missile. And now that he is no longer behind the blast shield, some distance away with your sister, you see just how huge he is. He is taller than an elephant. He is as broad as a wagon. At least
Casimir Pundit is the villain Condor DM.
Shoulders. And
remember in that movie A Christmas Carol, the old school version with George C. Scott, when they were all playing that game?
Yeah.
And it was like, you're as loose as a goose, or whatever, or whatever. I feel like we just saw that. He's as broad as a wagon, as tall as an elephant.
Huge wings unfurl from his
go.
back with fire blazing upon them.
Oh, God.
And he pulls out of what looks like a tiny little coin purse.
Nice.
A giant scythe. The coin purse is only about this deep.
Oh, man.
You already said it was tiny. You don't need to do that.
Yeah, it's only this deep.
Less is more, dude. Let's move on.
I just want to reiterate, this is one of the leads in the new D&D game. Like they have given not the complete keys to the kingdom, but a set of keys to the kingdom to this guy. 88 days clean.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
awesome.
Rock
As
In.
corny as Kansas in August.
Yep. Get rid of hold on here.
I'm fighting off a
I
bot.
was gonna say
I just fought off a bot, people.
Right.
But this scythe
10
just
points for
keeps
Gryffindor.
going. And he even has to kind of use two hands
That's
as
impressive.
he pulls it
Don't
out.
like that. Show off.
That's neat. I feel like this is like Rakdos.
Say what you will about Scott Kurtz, Will Wheaton, and all them.
They knew
Chris
how to play.
Perkins. They knew what D&D was. They didn't have to necessarily play to an audience. Like this is awful. As we always say when he DMs, he is awful. By far the worst DM I've ever seen, like in like a quote unquote professional setting. Even that like Indian woman who's behind the screen, I think she's better than him. Hell, at least she looks better than him. I guess by default she's better. TWB $5. By now, someone at my table would have burst out. I just waste them with my crossbow.
Yeah.
Nice callback from Knights of the Dinner Table there. Badger $5. My issue is that newer players' audiences seeing this think that this is what D&D is really like, and they perpetuate this crap. Yeah, it's at the local level. Exactly. Yeah, it's almost like a chicken and egg thing, isn't it, Badger?
I agree with that analogy.
Yeah. What?
I'll third that.
Yeah. What came first? You know.
Mad Maggie.
Yep. Yep. it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy at this point.
The one he ran before with Mad Maggie, that Joe Mantegna, the actor, he was getting kind of bent.
Yeah, he didn't like it at all.
Yeah, he was getting. You could tell he was getting a little impatient.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he was getting angry, but he was getting impatient. You could tell. Yeah.
And fishing.
What side are you on?
Yeah, exactly. This is a little bit too, and you're glinting a little bit too much here.
You came to Ravnica and destroyed my circus. And so here, I have done everything in my power to help Drawn Enterprises destroy your circus.
This is true, Chris. I can see that.
It's like Star Wars. There are now more bad movies than good. So new viewers don't know it was ever good. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. It's jumped the shark completely.
I liked Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One was okay. Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I should have stuck with that. But they
Darth
should.
Vader was a badass at the end of that. just plowing through everybody.
Yeah. That's what that's all people wanted. Star Wars fans are so easy to please. Just put some of that in. You know, it makes up for the fact that the movie you sort of knew what had to happen, or what was going to happen. It's okay. Just make it kind of a little tense. Some good visuals. Darth Vader, cutting through people. That's all you had to do.
Back, you puny worm. In Ravnica, you and your group gave me a marvelous
monologuing again.
show. I expect your death to be spectacular. And he brandishes the scythe, and I need you to roll initiative.
Right from the jump.
This is not good for my anxiety. My eczema is gonna burst out right now.
It's combination skin.
Yeah.
I was ready to alter myself into a cocktail waitress.
That was a good
Circus wrecker.
Or into a cocktail.
I was going to poison the cocktail.
You still might be able to.
Let's just kill this god, and then we'll investigate a new, job.
All in a
That's
day's work.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Certainty.
14.
Omen.
Not 1, but 14. Yeah.
Why are they cheering a 14?
We must have rolled a bunch of 1s earlier in the night or something.
Yeah. All right. I'll tell you, we'll lurch ahead. We'll see if watch it for 2 more minutes, and then we'll be done.
I'm curious though.
Into
what's underneath the cloth? There's
room.
something there. That's not.
Oh yeah, that's like a big reveal or something. Yeah. Oh well, hell, let's just. Oh wait,
it's Bowser.
Bowser. All right, here we go.
Yes, places it has been to before.
Oh no.
And so, right around it appears Vi's lab that destroys the sculpture park.
Oh, it just replaces it, right?
Yes.
Oh.
And so now, in addition to your company burning down and exploding, also the neighborhood is now being wiped out.
Oh.
And phasing over the whole front of the company, further destroying what little is left, is...
Oh, wait, there's more.
No!
Bowser.
The real Jim Dark Magic's hellish war machine.
Doesn't that look like Slave 1 with just stuff added to it?
Or like the Jabba's sand barge.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Which I figured out how to do. I actually made a sail barge. You just flip a ship model upside down, and then just on the bottom make it flat if it's not already.
Enjoy your dinner.
Yes.
Yep. Eat dinner. Take care, Chris. Thank you for the tweet, which we went over about RPGNet. 25% gameplay and 75% Jeremy Crawford failing in acting class, says Lord Otter for $5. Yes, absolutely. And of course, revealing all the toys, which are always so important to these guys. By the way, you can order this on dnd.com.
And certainty, remember when I said,
oh no,
not great that you didn't hold your ground?
Whoa, check this out.
Stop the presses. Bam. Give him something for that. Give the man something. Give him something.
That man his money.
James. DM James, 10 memberships. Brother, thank you so much. That is really, really nice.
That is awesome.
Thank you very much. Good to see you here, man. Crazy Mouse, it's not called Slave One. They can't call it Slave One anymore.
This shit on the front?
Yes.
Crawford's fleshlight, says
you
Joe.
are hurled onto the front of that.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the little curtains.
Oh my gosh. I hate Uncle Jim's help.
wrong
He always
camera
double
angle for
parks
this.
it.
They need like a 3/4 view.
Sideways.
They either have it straight on or overhead. Or...
Takes up 300 parking spaces.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tiny ticket right on the front crow.
Does he have to keep rolling
Pinned
his-
to one of the
until he
spikes,
gets the
just like
result he
me.
wants?
I guess.
And you, Certainty, take 36 piercing damage.
Ooh, all right.
What was that? 1 die 2 times 18? What took so long?
Press X to doubt there. Roll it in the open, you fucking coward.
Yeah, but he rolled like 17 times. You know?
Yeah.
Like, and he only got
Yeah.
36?
I don't understand.
I'll keep rolling until he gets over 30.
yeah. Just keep going. More.
I got 2 left, and 2 is all you need at this point.
A chip in a chair. Isn't that the truth?
James, if you call a white guy brother, he will give you anything that you want. All right. I'm going to hold you to that, James, my brother.
The whole front of Acquisitions Incorporated now fully collapses.
Thank you, James.
And the green flame.
Oh, there it is.
Must be an inside joke.
Yep. But that it also shows just how far we've come.
Thank you for
How far
coming.
we've come.
This game is brought to you by...
Just drag it to the end.
The only shards
Towards the
you're
end,
going to have are in your nuts. Shards of testicles.
Talking about a ball joke. All right, maybe it's funny, maybe it isn't, but I guarantee it's a lot funnier than anything they were doing. Rolls 50 dice 6.
Yeah.
You take 36. Yeah, exactly.
How does that happen?
Yeah.
What? That's
I
how
thought it was awesome.
That's how the bronze bottoms do
This is
it.
my A material.
All right. After kicking the crap out of Lear and his associates, and by succeeding, by the way, it didn't actually get into a fight or anything, so it doesn't cost you a bunch of healing surges. So well done, guys.
Awesome.
Well done.
I like that.
Yep. And
It's you can tell, like, again, playing to the audience, but also he knows the rules.
And you're told the following information: that Lear's mama, Citrine, has paid big bucks to get Aelofel raised just so you couldn't.
Wait, what was the name again?
Citrine.
You remember her. She
Yeah.
was the one that was
She's the head of the Ambershard clan.
And she was like faking like, oh, I can talk in
Right,
Elf member.
right,
And we were
right,
like, yeah, you're full of crap, lady.
What is up with that bitch?
Moreover, she is got this thing going where she takes slaves to some sort of secret location and then gets money for them.
Probably a rave.
And Lear...
They might even advertise about it on Craigslist.
And
Scott Kurtz being creepy. Who cares? It's funny. It's like that's what D&D is. It's bad, friends telling bad jokes to each other and having a good time.
Oh yeah.
And if there was an audience, and they discovered, hey, there's an audience here, well, occasionally we'll throw them a little. But generally, I also compare it to like old Mystery Science Theater to new Mystery Science Theater. As many of you know, I'm a connoisseur. I mean, old Mystery Science Theater, they were writing to crack each other up. They're comedians, not big stars, but just regular, ham and egg comedians trying to crack each other up. New Mystery Science Theater is just a bunch of LA comedians who aren't funny, just trying to write stuff that they think the audience, will love or go viral. That's it.
I can't imagine you running a game like that Crawford did. I can't imagine.
I mean, I'm trying to think how I would approach it. I really would just approach it like if we had I know we have a virtual audience, like O&R, but like if there was an audience in a room, I'd be like, hey, let's just mostly run this like we normally do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we'll have to stop if the audience is laughing or at something, we'll need to acknowledge it. But generally, just fucking play.
Yeah.
Just fucking play.
People want to see the dice roll. People want to see someone get hit or hit something. Then a little bit of banter in between.
There is no denying that Jeremy Crawford is fucking the worst DM I have ever seen.
Yes. Completely full of himself.
Full of himself. I don't want to say unprepared because he already knows how it's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
So he is prepared in that respect, but just totally, he's totally unprepared to accept any straying from what he had as like the vision for this session.
Well, I look totally prepared. You're right, but he didn't paint any of those miniatures. He didn't craft any of those models.
No.
You know, when we get together, you prepare, you do it. So
exactly.
He has a crew of people preparing for him while he's in the mirror practicing his one-liners.
Yeah.
And going through his thesaurus, how can I make this?
I don't doubt that he was like, where are we at? Oh, we're at the 1 hour mark. Right on schedule. They should be right here. You know, where I've literally dragged them. You know, oh, the combat's taken too long. Let me roll, like somebody said, Otter 50 die 6 to give this guy 36 points of damage. So either they'll relent or somebody will die or something.
He must have remembered her hit points because she's like, I have 2 left.
Yeah, damn, didn't account for that. Patrick Demo, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, and early somebody mentioned about Riff Track. Yeah, earlier Riff Tracks was good. They're just getting older, less funny. Generally speaking, you don't get more funny as you get older. Their jokes have lost a little bit of a punch. Longer bits too, I've noticed in Riff Tracks. They don't realize that Mystery Science worked because in and out with the jokes, in and out, in and out, in and out, quick hitters. That's all it should be. And of course, not being afraid to offend anybody. Problem with Riff Tracks is they hired that guy who's friends with Mike Nelson, and the guy who was on Jeopardy. He's fucking unfunny and awful.
Ken Jennings?
No. He was on as a contestant.
Oh, I think you meant the new guy.
He got worked. He got worked in one. But he's like part of the Riff Tracks crew, and like somehow he's gotten like all this like power. So he's gone through and like edited out any trans jokes they did in like older Riff Tracks. Stuff like that. It begins with a C. I can't remember what his name is. I'm sure somebody will know. He's unfunny and terrible. All right. We got a little bit more. A little more. All right. I think you guys know, big fan of Elon Musk.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody should be. A really, really smart guy. No, he doesn't know the technical issues of everything he talks about, but he hires people who do, and then they kind of explain it to him, and he gets things conceptually. I'm going to show the difference, because I've noticed there's a difference between the more, there's like an inverse relationship. The more bothered you are by Trump, the crazier you are.
It goes up before you go off on that. For some reason, I'm just thinking of Doge, Department of
Government
Efficiency, and like them wanting to stop making pennies.
Yeah,
and it sounds phenomenal, but would the copper or whatever materials already have been bought?
To some extent, yeah.
So I
they
think
don't use copper anymore.
Well, whatever the materials are that are laying around, and they might say, "Hey, Mr. President, we won't order any more stuff to make them, but we still have all this stuff. We still have to make some pennies."
Yeah, I would guess. Either or maybe their love, like, all right, we bought it. Instead of losing money by going down this road, can we just sell it back or sell it, for less
somewhere
of a
else.
Loss than creating a bunch of pennies? I would hope that there's enough into it that's what they're doing.
Hold on to it; they'll all become collectors. Rare.
Yeah. Hold on to your pennies. So as I was saying. If you're bothered by Trump, as I was saying, if you're bothered by Trump, like the more bothered you are by Trump, the crazier you are. I think the more bothered you are by Musk, I think it portends to how stupid you are. Like we heard AOC say, Elon Musk is the dumbest billionaire I've ever heard. Well, AOC is fucking retarded.
Some people touting her as a presidential candidate.
Yeah. All right, let's listen to a little bit of Elon.
If there's not a good feedback loop from the people to the government, and if you have rule of the bureaucrat, if the bureaucracy is in charge, and then what meaning does democracy actually have? If the people cannot vote and have their will be decided by their elected representatives in the form of the president and the Senate and the House, then we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. So it's incredibly important that we close that feedback loop, we fix that feedback loop, and that the public's elected representatives, the president, the House, and the Senate, decide what happens, as opposed to a large unelected bureaucracy. This is not to say that there are good people who are in the federal bureaucracy, but you can't have an autonomous federal bureaucracy. You have to have one that is responsive to the people. That's the whole point of a democracy. And if you looked at if you looked at the founders today and said, what do you think of the way things have turned out? Well, we have this unelected, fourth unconstitutional branch of government, which is the bureaucracy, which has, in a lot of ways, currently more power than any elected representative.
So he's talking about the bureau, also called the deep state. Whenever you hear people, of course, talking about the deep state, that's what he's talking about. He's just not using it because he knows people would take that and run with it. But, like, do you guys, I mean, was there any craziness in that talk?
No,
I mean,
it made sense.
Did that not make sense to everybody?
Have a good night.
Oh, have a good one.
Do we want an unelected bureaucracy just running wild and saying, fuck you, to no matter who wins the election, we're just going to do what we want? No, we don't want that. All right. So I'm going to show you like one of the responses currently to Elon right now.
No.
Emmanuel Cleaver, Democrat representative from Missouri. Let's listen to what he has to say. I'm sure it's going to be intelligent, right?
I mean, he was elected, right?
Oh, yeah. Elected one of 500 members of Congress.
There's that many?
Yeah.
Do we need that many?
I'm going to be quick because I want to send a message to somebody. Elon, take your musty millions and musty Moscow rights to the moon. Because if you don't, we're going to stand up, we're going to speak out, we're going to march, we're going to do anything we need to do to make sure that the people of this country understand that the CFPB is for them. You get your musty hands off of our money or go to Moscow. You musty moon.
He sounded like if anybody ever watched Do the Right Thing, he sounded like Dunaman.
Oh yes, yeah. Well, we're in love with this. As far as like, go ahead, hit those. I'll get this right now. Yeah, how dare anyone make sense? Says I was raised a poor orc child. I love that name. $2, thank you. Porch. Good to see you, sir. Who elected Elon is quickly becoming the he crossed state lines of 2025. Referring back to Kyle Rittenhouse, of course. Good call there, Porch.
He liked to use alliteration.
Yeah, we did this to ourselves.
Keep your hands off my donor's money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We sort of elevate all these black guys that talk, in tones like that. I think it probably obviously started with Martin Luther King, but like Jesse Jackson, and it seeps into like movies. And who doesn't like Morgan Freeman, get busy living or get busy dying? It's like we have fallen in love with just hearing black men and black women talk, and it doesn't matter what actual retarded bullshit comes out of their mouth.
Because it comes from the soul.
Yeah, he's being honest. It comes from the soul. No, he's fucking retarded. He's stupid. Like whoever elected him in Kansas, I think he was like the former mayor of Kansas City. You people are fucking stupid. You elected a guy who I don't think could think his way out of a paper bag.
No.
Let alone taking on Elon, one of the most thoughtful guys. He'll sit there and think about an answer, and like, He'll give and take,
Yes.
He'll say like, well, you make a good point there, but I think we really need to do this because of X, Y, Z.
What I want to see, what's the response of people that have something to say about what Elon said? Because lots of people in politics have been saying that kind of shit for as long as I've been alive. They need to wrangle it. They never wrangle it. They line their pockets.
Yeah.
So what is their response? What's AOC's response to that? Honestly, it makes sense.
The days of like, well, guys, we may disagree on the edges here, but we can all agree that we're against government waste. No, we're beyond that. You have one party that's just full of lunatics who I guess want to waste your tax dollars. And they will worship an absolute ignoramus like Emmanuel Cleaver. Now there's another moron, and I did not do this on purpose. These just came up on my feed, but it is a African American woman. See what she has to say.
Our government, no matter who is
This isn't about Elon, but it's going to be near and dear to a lot of people.
in power has an obligation to right these wrongs, to provide reparations for descendants.
Does that woman behind her with the
She's part of the squad.
I know, but was she in Black Panther?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
The ruthless warrior. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She was a badass. Is that her?
No.
No.
I don't know. I'm gonna guess no.
Okay.
If she's anywhere near, this is Summer Lee, not too far from us, boys. Member of Congress. She represents like Pittsburgh.
Enslaved Africans to eliminate the racial wealth gap, to uplift the black community. White supremacy is rampant in this country. Just look at the current administration and our own legislative body. They have contributed to the social and economic harms, to racial terror black folks have experienced in this country. Now, more than ever, we must acknowledge and repair those harms.
She's talking about reparations.
Honestly, I am so done with that. I've been done with that for a long time. I think anyone that is going to go on their soapbox and start squealing about that stuff needs to be videoed getting punched in the throat.
I have a question, and I'm just throwing this out there. The people, I'm sure that there's data out there that perhaps Donald Trump might have won the younger voter.
Younger men.
He did. I mean, how about just younger, period?
Don't know if he did or not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
That's something I would love to know. And
but it was
also,
close. It was close.
In younger voter, let's also just say first-time voters. Like, who won that? And if people are so encouraging so many other people to vote, it makes the people who do vote, their vote has less power.
Yeah. Oh, I've thought that for a long time.
And I was
this
trying
whole
to explain,
thing about everybody needs to vote. I'm like,
do they?
Not really.
And the other thing, and I mentioned this to my mother-in-law, and she's like, I don't know, they're crazy mouse, blah, blah, blah. And I said, Mother Kreidler, I said, if you were voting for dinner for tonight, there's only just the four of us here, and you voted for something that no one really wanted to eat, but your vote is pretty powerful. You get 25% of the... But if you all of a sudden take this to, the masses... Well, your vote doesn't stand a chance. So did the Democrats that encouraged everyone to go vote, did it actually hurt their own cause?
It may have, because I think they were always used to getting the youth vote. And I think young men have finally decided, like, wait a minute, what are these guys, what are they doing for us? Like, they're not only they're not doing anything for us, and I'm not even so sure that should be why you vote, because somebody does something for you.
Well, here, but Surly's saying it right there, like...
Yeah, the Amish and you can thank Scott Pressler. Yeah.
And that swung Pennsylvania, which might have swung the whole election.
Yeah, I mean, there was a tipping point and then a zeitgeist. I think what was happening here was also happening in Wisconsin. It was also happening in Michigan.
The guy from Wisconsin is that Sean Duffy from the Real World, MTV.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was I'm not sure which Real World he was in, but his name's Sean Duffy, and he met his wife on the Real World on an MTV reality show.
Nice. But I mean, it's. I think they really underestimated how young men. Look, how could you listen to those last two?
Can't.
And think like, oh yeah, the young kids are are going to love this. Millennial fucking retards will love it. These millennials who just nonstop complain about boomers. I got news for you. When boomers die, you become the most hated generation. And everybody agrees that we hate your fucking guts.
Oh, yeah.
Gen Z, Gen X. Nobody likes you fucking millennials. You're the worst fucking generation out there. Apologies to any millennials in the chat. But it's true.
There are some good
Of course, yeah. Of course there are. Yeah, but whenever you say that, you know.
Double D, I don't think you're wrong, though. Not at all.
Look, I mean, yeah, they're the ones who just consistently have not gotten it. Like, you are supposed to get a little more reasonable as you get older. They're just getting dumber as they get older. They're doubling down.
Lord Otter says you are forgiven.
Okay. Yeah, we can't offend our big spenders. Thank you, Otter.
Our constituents.
Yeah. Nick says, as a millennial, yeah, most of my generation. Yeah, and like, look, I'm not just picking it out. I know some millennials. I've also seen a lot of millennials, you know, from a short distance away. You know, like, look, I have nephews and nieces who are millennials, and you know, look, some of them are okay. Some of them buy into this bullshit. You know, but
What's the age of a millennial right now? What are they?
Born in 80, I think, to 97, 98.
So they have a 17-year gap.
Every generation is roughly, you know, like that 17 years they do it. Yeah. So millennials started in 1980. So they'd be in their, you know, 40s to, you know, maybe 30, you know, late 20s, early 30s.
Ugh.
I think I think it's the older millennials that are the worst. I think some of the younger millennials maybe share a little bit more of Gen Z, and like I said, some of them are a little loony, but the men especially, they're starting to understand what it's all about.
I was in line at the Best Buy a handful of years back at the Geek Squad or whatever it is, one of my son's laptops, and there was an issue. And,
Mhm.
you know, I already had an appointment. You wait for your name to come up. You go, then you step up, you know. And, But there's a lot of people there. And ahead of me, there was a young couple, millennial couple. And I don't care what you talk about, you know. But you don't have to yell this stuff about the fabric of the skirt this lady was wearing while the dude's standing there and is completely, playing with his phone. And this girl just would not stop talking, you know, about the dumb stuff. Whatever. Hey, I don't care. But like, why don't you keep it down? Because the people way in the back of the televisions, they can hear you. And not the tragedy, but the hook on this right here was like, so the line was moving up, right? So the line moves up to them, but their name isn't on the thing. Well, okay. They just got in line.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then the person was trying to explain to them, you kind of need an appointment. You know, you get here and we'll call you up. You're in line, but we'll call why can't you just do it now? Why can't you just do it now? Oh, they were incensed. And it was like, you know, there's 25 people behind me, and I mean, I'm pretty mellow, but I got bent. You know, I'm like,
yeah, it would be too.
Get the frick out of here.
Yeah.
You know, don't cut in line. You know,
Patrick, I just looked it up. Millennials are 81 to 96. And if you're 80, you're not a millennial.
80 or
there you go.
You're still a Gen Xer?
You'd have to be, yeah. Got in just under the radar, Patrick.
Millennials are also known as Generation Y. Why is did you ever notice why everything's not going my way?
XYZ.
Why isn't that going my way?
It's typical of them that like Gen X is X,
yeah.
Gen Z is Z, but millennials, we need a special name for us. We can't just be Gen Y. We have to be known as
look at Porch, like right on cue.
There you go. Yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah.
Gen Y. Yeah, it's a good question. So yeah, I don't know. There's my rant. I honestly don't. I think Gen Z will have it figured out. I think Gen X and Gen Z will kind of help right the ship. We'll just, you know, like I said, when the millennials will soon realize how despised they are when the last boomer dies, and then they'll be like, "Oh, us? You mean we're so phenomenal?" No, then we'll push them to the side, say "fuck you." All right.
If there's not a good feedback loop from the
Why do I only have a phone that can do 1,000 things and I still don't appreciate it? Yeah.
Your avatar is a female. Are you female? Do we have a lady in the house?
Hallie, you. Good Lord.
I hope so.
With these,
I hope there's a lady present.
In this group of baboons?
These feces throwers.
We have a lot of big bads in D&D, but Fiends are amongst the largest and the most constantly in conflict as well. They kind of have...
Here's your boy. Those glasses.
Right.
Got some smart frames on there, Crazy Mouse.
Oh, I'm looking for him. Hold on, buddy.
Right.
We want there he is. There he is.
Two different sets. There are also at...
What a charming couple.
Right.
Odds in the first place, so they have...
My catchphrase at home, and I have one, it's like when if Mrs. Mouse says, I have an idea, or can you come, I want to talk to you about something, I always follow it up with, oh, this ought to be good.
This ought to be
their
good.
own thing going on. Tell me about Fiends and what a big part of D&D they have been.
They are indeed the most classic villains of the whole D&D multiverse.
Demons and devils.
When we talked about aberrations, we
not
talked
half
about the
bad.
fact that aberrations are
It's a
sort
little
of the
odd, but
strange,
that's okay.
gooey villains against everybody
He said
else.
Again.
Check his hand.
Especially coming from outside the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
But from within it, Fiends are the evil that is sort of burbling inside everybody in the shadows. And true to the classic notion that evil always turns on itself, these most evil of creatures probably spend more time.
Good news is I haven't had much of a problem with any of this art. See, I'm not just a hater to be a hater.
There was in that smoke there was like skulls and stuff. Like there was hidden pictures inside.
Oh, really?
That skull,
Okay.
in that smoke.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fighting each other
right.
Than they do fighting the forces of good or even the forces of neutrality in the material plane. And one of the things that was
Welcome
really
aboard.
fun when building out this...
Thanks for putting up with us.
Hallie, good to have you.
Yep.
Welcome.
When you
Beans are people too.
laying around and you're with your sisters
Book
and you're
was
brushing
not
each
a-
other's hair, please tell them to join the chat
Only
as well.
do we have,
More
of
women.
course, all
We need to
the
class this,
devils and
join up
demons,
just a hair.
but we also have Yugoloths, a sort of third group.
It's not bad.
There's the fucked up teeth again, though.
Yep.
Yeah, the teeth are a little fucked up, but overall...
They didn't have a good dental plan back in Birthright.
But it's not like in this dark, depressing, kind of grayish...
Yeah, it's not washed out.
That sort of play both sides against each other.
Is that Ice Devil, maybe? Is that an Ice Devil?
We have unaffiliated fiends like succubi and incubi who really don't...
First miss.
Yeah.
First miss.
I don't like it.
I like the style, but not for like...
Not nearly succubi and incubi. They gotta be. You know they have to be sexy. I mean, they really do. It's their whole raison d'etre, or what, however the fuck you say it. Yes. It's why they are who they are. I mean, what is going on in that? What am I seeing in that succubi's
them
chest?
sexy, but maybe someone else does. I personally don't.
Yeah.
They look astral.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like Captain Cosmos there.
Didn't one of my characters fall for a succubus?
Oh man.
A swamp hag?
Oh yes. That's not a succubi, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I fell for it.
At least you weren't like Stern's character who
had
a child with a succubus with a hag. We'll see how that turns out 20 years.
Yeah, that'll bite us in the ass.
In game time.
Take sides, but they're firmly committed.
Let's be clear. They don't want to show a sexy female bosom. That's why they have whatever that. What is that? Sometimes I don't see things. Like, what is that across her chest? What is that white thing? The 3-pronged white thing? What is that?
I'm not sure what it's called. Not a bustier.
I mean, is it part of the clothing? Is that what we're
I
saying?
think it's like a pseudo armor kind of. 'Cause the other guy's armor there's more of it, but it doesn't make much sense as well. It's fashion.
It's something.
It's fashion forward. From the runways of Paris
to the eviling, and that really is sort of the
it looks like they're dancing at a prom.
The unifying thread here is evil with a capital E.
What is evil anymore? They don't even. You can hardly define what it is. Yeah. I mean, orcs aren't evil. Okay.
And really, the
Drow aren't
main
evil?
flavor differences is whether.
Why would a demon or a devil necessarily be evil?
Or a succubus.
Or a succubus.
My first experience with the succubus looking at this is like, wow, they're pretty astral. They have cosmic powers. I have no idea.
I'm surprised they don't retcon him to be like that Eileen Warnos, the crazy hooker who killed all those guys. Well, you'd be a succubi too if you were taken advantage of by all these men over time.
They are more orderly about it, or are they more chaotic about it, or are they kind of just going right down the middle? They don't care about law or order, and all they care about is that malevolence is going to be victorious in the multiverse. And this group got bigger because this time...
Yeah, it's big.
Yes.
Because that's what we
Right.
We want
got bigger, I must say.
He's giggling right there. We haven't seen his other hand yet. I'm not insinuating anything about that. I'm just saying we've noticed, and he's probably watched our video and cleaned up his hand. He's like, Crazy Mouse and them noticed that my hand's cut.
Oh, man.
Gotta wash that thing. Gotta spit on that thing.
It was already a big category in the Monster Manual. It got bigger in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little...
Those like dire wolves.
Gnolls.
Yeah, those are gnolls. Look, if orcs can't be evil, how the hell can gnolls be evil?
Yeah, they're dog people. Who doesn't like a dog?
There you go. Yeah.
Man's best friend. And he's a man dog.
Boy, that one in the top left corner is really rough looking. That looks like a teddy bear. I don't know what that is. Go ahead, pick up Patrick's there.
Yep.
2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
All right.
Patrick Demo. Knowing them, they're evil because they're illiberal, transphobic, or vote Republican. They can't even make them what they think evil is. Yes, exactly. Thank you as always, Patrick. All right, Nick, take care. Be safe out there, buddy.
Yep.
Take care.
Yep.
Good day, mate.
We mentioned the addition of gnolls. Were Sahuagin always part of this category?
They were not.
Okay.
So as we looked at...
That's more like it. A dreary, kind of grayish, kind of greenish.
Is that underwater?
Yeah, that is definitely underwater. Yeah. Like what?
Look at the other pictures. You really wouldn't know.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Badger, $2. We want it to be the most demonic demon.
Absolutely.
Very, very much so.
Right.
Various, especially humanoids.
For somebody.
Go ahead.
Shark.
Chomp.
I just talked. I want to say I talked to him today. I texted him today.
I know that Panther catches it on the replay because we see him in the comments later.
Mm-hmm.
But Shark, where you at? Somebody put up a sign
in
at
the previous
local
Monster
grocers.
Manual and assessed whether that was in fact where they belonged. Although we also looked at every category and looked at every monster in every category and considered, is this really where it belongs? When we got to Sahuagin and gnolls, both of which are strongly associated with fiends, we decided that they really belonged in the fiend category. They are an example not of fiends that are from the lower planes, but of creatures that have been made fiendish by fiends. Again, going back to our video on aberrations, we talked about this. There are those aberrations that are from the far realm.
I honestly thought that's what he said at first, and I do apologize, and now I can't unhear it.
Hey, Mouse, I heard the same thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Then there are those aberrations that are made. And so really the idea behind the Sahuagin and Gnolls is that these are creatures that have been made fiendish in the material plane. And it was also fun to, with Sahuagin in particular, who have long been called sea devils in the game, to literally make them fiends this time around.
Yes, and it also...
He speaks. Before that,
Schneider.
Craig Bragg, $5 Canadian. Crawford seems especially full of soy. His boyfriend looks like he supplies
Stop
it.
it.
Hey,
Stop
yo.
it. You could be
All
right.
right.
You could be
So
right.
who
again?
God bless you.
You went way too far there, Bragg. Way too far. All right. I'll stay on the reservation. Just don't tax my cigarettes.
helps set them apart from some of D&D's other famous fish people, like the Koatoa. So now they have much more of their own role, their own vibe, leading into that bloodthirstiness. Like, you've got ogres.
Play it again.
Like, you've got ogres.
We didn't alter that, by the way.
No. I did not.
That's funny.
I could listen to this guy talk.
So
I mean, unlike
could
Crawford,
I
could listen to this guy talk.
I don't mind this guy.
Yeah, I could listen to this guy talk, I must say.
Wes, that gets at one of the things that we see creature type doing. Creature type not only has mechanical ramifications in the rules.
Exactly, Patrick. Me too.
But it has world building ramifications as well. It's a tag that the DM can look at, and
Weak
from a
Jimmy
very
Stewart says so.
high bird's eye view.
If someone says he sounds like Jim from Big Bang Theory, that'd be Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon. I mean, I can see the voice a little bit.
Hyperborean 10 planes. Giving us 10 planes. Cool. Thank you so much, sir. I bet his D&D character is called Titanus. Titanus.
Titanus.
Titanus. Titanus. Yeah. Is that
To
understand?
get a sense of what differentiates some of these creatures.
Never minded that picture.
And
it was okay. It was the eyes were a little.
It looks like that
weird, but
the one that Momo. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah, we did talk about this one. Yeah, it's a little almost too
Look
weird.
at those abs.
Yeah, they've been.
I admire those.
They've been
abs.
eating like low fat chicken stuff.
A lot of creatine and pull-ups.
Yeah. Doing their sit-ups.
So if the DM, for instance, is looking at a lineup of sort of anthropomorphic animal creatures,
we both had the same one.
All right, there's this sort of this vaguely fish person, this other vaguely fish person, this hyena person, this jackal person,
rapist,
this wolf person. If they're all humanoid, it's really hard from a bird's eye view to suss out story-wise.
Aren't those were creatures?
Yeah. Those look a little fruity.
Do you ever see those?
Don't they?
Do you ever see that video of like that, like the kangaroo on all like standing up? How muscular like a kangaroo is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't. Yeah, people are like, oh, box a kangaroo. No, like
no way.
Yeah, like run.
Jamie, pull that video up.
Yeah. Jackal wears.
Evil furries.
Wookalars. If anybody gets that reference, let me know.
Why does D&D have all these? Now, of course, if you know the lore, if you know the mechanics, you know that there are meaningful differences among them. But we really wanted creature type to also do some of the lifting in communicating right away to the DM. Here's what's different between them. And so, yeah, with Sahuagin and Kuatoa, it tells you something immediately that the Sahuagin are fiends and the Kuatoa are aberrations. That shows that their roots are in different parts of the multiverse. And that also means they tend to feed different types of stories.
For those that don't know, what is the key difference between devils and demons? Because I feel like demons just want to tear your face off, and that's...
I feel like the other guy's about to say, great question.
All right.
That's their pastime. That's their joy. Devils seem to be the ones that just want to make a deal or corrupt
Well, that's definitely an aspect of it.
There you go.
right.
You were right.
He's kind of
he's
there,
on.
yeah.
He's on.
And that for devils gets at the fact that they're from the 9 hells. They're lawful evil. They're the schemers. They're the evil
Schemers. He did the Joker. He's a schemer.
I like this guy. Schneider's growing
I
on
gotta
me.
say.
Schneider's growing on
He's got
me.
a very listenable voice.
I like him.
He made a little, whether he knew it or not, he made a little Joker reference.
Well, that's
there.
lawful. They want to manipulate. They want to corrupt. They want to change. They're associated with fallen angels and aspects like that, where
He
they're
would be somebody. We call him like Soy. I'd like to know if he eats chicken wings, because when you're eating chicken wings, you don't care if you have a little bit of sauce on your face until you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he eats chicken wings, and I'm just going there. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm starting to like him. And what on earth is Jeremy Crawford looking at?
That's a good question.
And then he just gave him a knowing, like, oh boy.
Gave him the
heavens.
We used to call those bedroom eyes.
corruptive influence. Where on the other side, you've got
Patrick Demo. Wookalars were from Private Eyes, right? Yep. Don Knotts and Tim Conway. Goodness.
demons, which are chaotic evil,
Great movie.
where they are just
Not really, but
they just want to see everything burn. They're just destruction. They're
Great
chaos. They're all of the worst instincts. You'll even see this reflected in the art for the two different groups of fiends, where devils have more, they're clearly more orderly, they're body types in many cases look more like there's something armored to them, or in many cases they use equipment.
Or they're in the gym 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Cow. How tall are those guys? Look at the skulls on his belt. If those are human skulls, those are tiny.
Have to be, yeah.
Is this supposed to be Orcus with the weapon, the mace, and the belt? And
They're implying this is a devil, which
Right.
should, to me, I would think this is a pit fiend then.
Right.
Hellboy.
Not
I'm
a
looking at this
Balar.
one, I'm getting that Orcus vibe, especially with that mace.
They're saying Balar.
Meat says Balar. I think they're talking about right now about how orderly the artwork is. So I'm gonna gently disagree with you, Meat. I think that might be their version of a pit fiend, but I could be wrong.
Or aspects like that, where demons on the other side seem to be more primal, seem to be using more claws and bites and attacks. There's exceptions to all of this,
There's
like
the
the
teeth.
Balor classically has its weapons, but even
Weird
those aren't just using a store-bought sword.
Yeah, no one of consequence. That's a good thing. They never default to the alignment. That should be the first thing they go to. Even if they could always say, well, as we all know, devils are lawful evil, demons more chaotic evil. What does that mean? Well, here, I'm going to extrapolate on that.
Less is more.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Mercurius, yep. They want to see everything. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
It's harnessing flame and light.
I like that picture as far as for like those guys are just getting bowled over and their shields are flying up in the air. I like that one.
Yeah, they're getting mowed down. Yeah, that's okay. Yep. It's got some kind of a lightning sword there. Yeah. That is a Balar.
So much more primal on the side of demons.
Why do you feel this category is so
Squint
varied?
and you can't tell the
Because this is a ton of monsters. For those who don't know, what is it a Muir and how do we get there?
Well, so we have part of the reason why there are so many fiends is going all the way back to D&D's beginning. D&D has always had a ton of fiends, at least, with the advent of the first monster manual.
Yeah.
This has always been a very well-stocked category of monster.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Partly because of the influence of real-world folklore.
Yeah.
But also because of
Alignment
those
is
two
confinement.
different major groups. And again, there are actually more than two groups of fiends, but
Alignment is that makes me think of that woman who was doing trans people belong here. Alignment is confinement. Alignment is confinement.
Faster. It just doesn't matter.
It just doesn't matter.
the two prominent ones, devils and demons, meant that
The
sort of
monster
each
Munster
team
manual.
over the years of D&D has gotten very heavily filled out. And so that means if you're going to do a broad spread of Fiends and you want to represent the two major teams, already you're signing up for a lot of monsters. I think another reason why Fiends show up so much.
Mask it or casket.
Hey, Warren Johnson, $2 Canadian. Evening, folks. Dungeon Masters 2008 party? I'm in if you are. Good to see you here, Warren.
Not only in this book, but in many D&D monster books, is like Undead. They are a very easy monster for the DM to deploy when the DM wants a creature that the players can just have their characters oppose and do so with...
Get a feeling that, like, Crawford walks the halls of WotC, and this guy's always behind him with a book open. You know, just like always in the background, just ready to support him in some way.
Very little sort of moral struggle.
Right.
Like when something like is emerging from hell itself, that's the time when you know, all right,
Chain Devil?
We need to fight. And now, the fight might not always be a physical fight. It might be a battle of wits, a moral test. But it is, when you want it to be clear, all right, something deeply wrong is now here.
Ooh, a little poetry there. Crazy Mouse is not impressed. Matthew Sentence, the gray-haired guy, reminds me of Bill Nye. Yeah, I could see
Creature is an embodiment of evil itself.
Okay. Just wish they'd push that out a little more, right, Rogan? Just a little. Why do we need? Like, why can't we just push that out just a little bit more, just a hair more?
It's like the cheesecloth is in front of the camera.
Yes, yeah. I've had the Vaseline on the lens, the cheesecloth. Yeah, it's just bring it out a hair. You've done such a good job. A little bit of a different angle to it. I like the eyes, though.
I think that face is very human-like.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, like I said, I like the take on it. Even if it's not one that you might use, I like the take on it. But we go.
It's the phallic symbol for the nose.
But it's D&D. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy. And now I'm starting to rethink it. Craig Bragg, $5 Canadian. I think the person on the right is a trans man. Girl neck, no beard follicle. Really? Plus Crawford was clearly looking at Ziz's chest. Not sure about that. I may have to respectfully disagree with you on that one, Craig, but I do thank you for the $5 Canadian.
Just low T.
Just low T, yeah. $5 Canadian. What is that, like $2.50 now, the way your currency is dropping? It's falling fast.
In many ways are
it's
a
appreciated,
foe.
though.
It is appreciated.
So,
very much so.
It is very easy as
get a real prime minister in there, and Canada will be great again.
When's their election? Is it coming up or something?
No, it's later in the year. I think they're stuck with Trudeau for probably most of the year. I think maybe like August or September, maybe. Craig, let us know, or any of you other Canucks.
Bestiary with Fiends,
because
in many ways
elected.
a DM is going to get use out of these. Whereas a lot of other creatures, when we create them, we know that they will definitely find a home in some DM's campaigns, but there's always the question of, is this going to show up as a friend? Is it going to show up as an enemy? Will it really even fit in with the world building?
Yeah,
which also then gets at
another whole year pretty
why
much of
stocking monster books with
Pretty Boy.
Fiends makes sense.
Some nightmares there. Nightmares. I guess that's okay
for us.
More like dogs.
Look at the skulls they're kicking up.
Yeah. I may have to. I like the conception. I like kind of the raw action of it. Mercurius. Here's some more lackluster currency. $2 Australian. Thank you, my friend.
That's like $250.
Yeah. It's like way
putting our kids through school.
Way more valuable than yours.
This picture right here should really show the majesty of the horse of the equine.
Yeah.
The nightmare is is scary, has a violence to it, but it also is like its muscle and its power.
Well, I'm buying the right one. I'm buying the left one.
I don't like the middle one. Looks like a hippopotamus.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah. So that must be a huge flaw, because I was thinking hippo too, with the way that face is shaped. Unless it couldn't be a hippo on purpose.
This one looks like a hippo right here too. The one on the far left.
Yeah. Yeah, I like kind of the raw nature of, especially the one on the right. You know, with the face turning towards you.
Looks like our dog Opie, like General Grievous, like that pose.
But those muscles,
Yeah.
muscles on that creature should just like you should be able to see those.
The one
muscles
on the
in
left looks like he
Yeah.
has muscles, like his chest muscles.
Right.
Yeah. And nightmares are supposed to be like, they're supposed to be like a vacuum of color, like jet black.
Yes.
I would normally make an exception if they were all posed. It's the old Meatloaf song, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I see that.
Yep. So gotta work on that. There's something really wrong with that middle one. Boy, the more I look at it, it has the legs of a horse and a fucking head of a hippo. Look at that
He's
thing.
our stepbrother.
Yeah. Jeez, that's the one you keep up in the attic when people come over.
His name is Jeff.
Yeah.
Is that in pretty much any world you
mares.
visit in the D&D multiverse, there will be various cultural variations, certain monsters that are present and others that are absent. But a typical D&D world always has a connection to the outer planes,
spitting the
which
knowledge.
means the potential for a fiendish incursion.
Oh, that's why they call it the Hippodrome. Yeah, I just realized that. Thank you, Patrick, for
Pat, you're just
illuminating
bringing
me.
the
I told you
knowledge.
guys I was a midwit.
And so these are basically also have the advantage of being useful in...
That's a little too cartoony.
Look at that. Look at that dental plan at work.
Yeah, those teeth. Yeah, the teeth. They don't.
It's scary because it's big. It's not scary because it's scary. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, yeah. I was raised a poor orc child. I love that name. $2 donation. Soon we'll buy Canada with 8 strings of beads. Yeah. Bag of beans.
Pretty much any
Or fiends.
D&D
Bag of fiends.
There's
I'm
sort of
sorry.
A setting agnostic foe that you can always have show up and be fightable no matter where you are in the multiverse.
I do like this idea of what the in-between. And it's something that maybe not everyone's is familiar with, but the Yugoloths. Yes. What is their agenda?
Oh, geez. That's a Yugoloth? Well, those things used to be so scary.
He's got readers at the end of his
Yeah,
nose.
he's got fucking... Oh, come on. That's a little...
Because I always had the bloodworm.
He does have readers on his, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, how lame.
That's... Guys, I can tell you, the chick made that... Guarantee it. Got the same old terrible like background. We got the pink and blue lighting. And we got the LOL so random glasses.
Makes him look smarter though.
Looks like when the wolf is dressed in Little Red Riding Hood's like outfit.
Yep. They can't get away with it from these stupid teeth too. They're on the cloak around his neck. Ooh, just put teeth on it. Make it look more ferocious. A furry lot.
My head, and we have these giant.
It looks like a rat. It looks like a rat with glasses.
War machines going on and soul coins being spent and that constant balance, that back and forth between the demons and the devils that is frankly keeping the prime material plane safe. But the Yugoloths are interesting.
Well, you just touched on the blood war there for a moment, which it's that endless conflict between demons and devils. It's not just that fiends are...
I think it's time they gave the blood war up. I mean, it had its day, and I understand the reason for it was because they were still raw from the satanic panic. Demons and devils don't need to be fighting. They should be fighting angels in heaven. You know, that's who they should be fighting against. The eternal war, you know, heaven and hell, but then that would sort of lead them into kind of like a Christian sort of a world, which I'm sure they probably don't want to go on. So they continue to go down this blood war road that has been played out for at least the last 20 years. Has no punch anymore.
Warring against mortals or the upper planes. It's that
if they're evil, I mean, why wouldn't their first target be something good? I know they both go about it differently, but why wouldn't they be attacking or trying to corrupt or destroy something good rather than each other?
Evil turns on it.
Maybe when they're done theoretically destroying good, then they turn on each other.
Itself. It's the idea that the forces of the nine hells and the forces of the abyss are constantly locked in this struggle, this conflict. And then in the mix there, you also have the Yugoloths, which they're the fiends that are like the mercenaries of it, of the blood wars, while also being...
And these are all the pictures from the new Monster Manual.
I would think so, yeah. Yeah, I would think so. These are... They're highlighted in the Monster
Are there any
Manual.
words in the new Monster Manual?
Well, they're probably just going for visuals here, over the interview.
I do like this.
I've heard they already have a page of errata already for the Monster Manual. Yeah, not like silly stuff either, like big stuff, like shit for dragons and some of these things. Like, oh, we fucked up. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. Just these with these teeth, man.
Right.
He slides it back. More teeth. I like what you're doing here.
Yeah.
More teeth.
I got a fever.
Do you see his coat? Put teeth on that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Absolutely.
Can we get any on the weapon, or is that going overboard?
Their own embodiments of greed and selfishness. These are demons that are, these are fiends that are constantly out for themselves, that are constantly have their own agenda and are trying to get the most out of the multiverse for themselves. And that means that they have many of the same roles that you'll see with other fiends, where they're trying to manipulate mortals.
I see you don't have any teeth in your mouth, so put it on your armor.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an Arcanoloth, I think. Am I right there, guys? Is that an Arcanoloth?
They're working evil on the
Just
material
fine, I
plane,
guess.
but
like as Crazy Mouse said, just this weird teeth fetish they have.
then you'll also see that in the larger blood war, they'll have roles where maybe they're serving as mercenaries, or maybe they're trying to exacerbate issues or being manipulators in the planes. So they have their...
What are these guys' age?
I'd guess 40s. I'd guess they're in their 40s. I don't know if Pundit can if he's still around, if he can confirm that.
Sort of mastermind role, but also their mercenary role.
In Jeremy's case, might be late 40s.
Hag also in this category.
Yeah, and night hags have always been this delightful
Getting a sore throat from his
example of
voice.
something we've talked about in other
It's real scratchy.
videos of some creatures in certain families.
It's like listening to RFK Jr.'s voice. You feel like you need to take a lozenge after listening to him.
Families change creature type
Yeah.
if they spend enough time on a different plane of existence. And so while most hags are
doesn't know their
fae,
exact age.
night
Probably
hags
mid-40s, I would
are
guess.
the ones who set
Played
up shop
straight down
in
the
the lower
fairway.
planes and have been harvesting souls for millennia. And they have been so corrupted by being in that, that underworld, that villainous afterlife, that they are no longer fae anymore, and have taken on the nature of the lower planes themselves. We've expanded also a number of the categories. We now not only have the lowly dretch, but a swarm of them.
Yes, I saw the swarms.
Yes, we now, you mentioned the lemur earlier, and dretches and lemurs are both very, very low ranking.
That was okay, but again, just not enough. Just kind of blends into the background. I understand that's sort of the purpose of them. They're just kind of an ooze of like souls, but Could have done a little better.
Fiends and their different fiendish families.
And could be in your character's future.
And there are now swarms of them, so that they.
Joey the lemur.
It's gross, and the art is wonderfully gross. And for anyone who's confused, the lemur here is not the cute little type of simian in the real world. No, it is
we can do a comparison video.
Yes, this word, this confusing word that is sound.
This is an entertainment venue, and you had time to prep the video. Geez, I mean, you could have actually done that, for humor. But nah,
it's like the cute animal
have
from
a
the
funny
real world
bone in their body.
Comes from real world folklore, actually, of a type of very low-ranking fiend. And by the way, also going back to the question of, oh my gosh, why are there so many fiends? Partly because occultists in the real world have spent so much time documenting them. A lot of that stuff fed right into D&D half a century ago.
He's got a look on his face that he's just so tickled to give you unknown knowledge right now. He's just so high on himself. He's got a self-serving, smarmy little smile as he just can't wait to give you this knowledge because you're stupid.
It's a man who is up. Let's just say when he farts in his office, he is in his glory, inhaling.
So there are anyone who has read like real world books like the Goetia and other old occult books will notice there's actually a lot of stuff from there echoed in Dungeons and Dragons.
And I was actually thinking that cultists in D&D have great marketing teams, like converting.
That's right.
And getting human souls to turn into this.
Well, you just mentioned souls, and Jeremy just called out the lemurs being sort of the lowest of the low. What we've also done is we've pulled in the larvae, which previously were in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah, see, that's pretty good. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah,
I'll buy that for $1, as they say. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Now we've pulled them over into the monster manual, and you're not just getting one gross low-level soul maggot. You're getting whole swarms of these damn souls that are potentially on the path to becoming their own.
That has to be an Icelandic heavy metal band.
These soul maggots are specifically what night hags love.
Yeah. Could it be we stumbled on a genuinely amusing moment from these guys? It was actually kind of funny.
Yeah.
Soul
love
maggot.
to shepherd around.
Perfect. That's upsetting.
Also, the Lamia is now in this category.
We saw this one the other week.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
it was disappointing.
Lamia. Yep.
So just as the Sphinx moved over into the Celestial.
I'm sorry. I know it's part of the cloak. Why have your cloak in the shape of somebody doing the OK symbol?
Yes.
Twice.
Yeah, that just it makes no sense. So somebody didn't go to him like, "Ooh, could you feather that out a little bit, make it more like, cloaky, kind of blowing in the wind?" Why does it look like an arm giving the OK symbol? It's so bizarre. That's one where I almost don't blame the artist. Maybe they got a little over their skis, but somebody approved that art and could have just said real easily, like, "Hey, could you just clean up that bit of cloth there? Either extend it or swoop it up." Would have been so easy for the artist to do. He could have just said, "Yep, sure."
Category, the Lamia moved into the fiendish category, and part of that is, again, as we sort of looked to make sure every creature was in the
Watsy artist calling for help. Yeah,
category it truly belonged in. The Lamia has roots that go to the demon lord Gratz.
Must be AI,
and
maybe.
So just as gnolls who are
I'm starting to
connected
believe
to a demon lord.
There's a little bit more than just quote unquote inspiration.
Became fiends. The Lamia also became a fiend.
This is another case of I'm in love with all of this art because this is so absolutely metal. And you mentioned how different the demon art is from the devil art. But when you're looking at the Chain Devil, I've never seen a Chain Devil like that. I've never seen the Bone Devil is just terrifying in this, and
Okay.
it feels like its own genre again. It feels
Good.
like this is the moment where
Good.
the story of your characters is no longer like a Fae story. like you've entered into a different part of the story.
And this is something that we spent a lot of time in conversations about, was we wanted people to be able to look at a demon, look at a Yugoloth, look at a devil, and be like, all right, I get that.
What is that? And that's a rock, right? What is going on?
The
with
twisted
that?
version.
Oh, I see. It's like use some fucking color.
Yes.
I didn't know what it was grabbing there. I mean, is that supposed to be stone? If it's stone, make it gray. It has the same value, doesn't it?
It does.
Art-wise, I mean, the Vrock has the same value as the thing that it's grabbing. So your eyes just kind of blur and like, oh, this whole thing here.
Squint your eyes at it. Just
Yeah.
you can squint it. It's all the same blob.
It's not pushed out, and it's a shame too because that face is actually pretty good.
Yes.
I can't comment on the body so much. I don't know how screwed up that is, but boy, that face is really good.
Yeah.
It's of a kind. Oh, that's this
That body's a little jacked. I'm not sure about that.
wild thing. Oh, it feels primeval.
Ooh, whoa! Now we're returning to form. Stubby arms, cal arts.
Yes.
This is the mess that we've grown accustomed to.
Okay, everybody, let's go to Mardi Gras.
Right, that was a good one.
First round's on me. Ooh.
Hurricanes for
Oh,
everyone.
it's clearly rampaging. Okay, those are more of.
That's rampaging?
Rampaging. I
guess it's rampaging. Woo.
Look at those arms. It's ridiculous. Oh my god.
It looks like a little person.
It does. Yeah, it's got like that kind of unnatural shortening of the limbs, from little people, yeah.
Say elf one more time.
I just look at that face and my mind says, no wire hangers.
There's a lot to dislike about this.
It is.
Color-wise.
What's that guy on the show, Big Ed, and he couldn't turn his neck?
Oh, yeah.
About the bride.
Something.
Remember?
Oh yeah, 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor guy.
Guy who looked like Chet, the shit monster.
Overkill, you're right. Proportion.
90 Day Fiance. Thank you, everyone that said that. Thank you so much.
Remember we used to watch that after playing D&D?
Yeah, he does. He looks like Big Ed.
When that was like hitting hard, like we would play D&D, we'd go upstairs and it was like, boom, put on 90 Day Fiance. We got to see what's up with
Didn't he remember when he was buying her like mouthwash?
Yeah, that poor like Filipino woman. Oh. She's probably just like, I put up with all this just to be insulted by one of the ugliest men in the world.
Wire hangers.
Just the body just doesn't. It doesn't track artistically, even biologically, anatomically. The face is a joke. Woo.
Vibes that
That's
you
bad.
would see for a demon, and then having the other ones feel appropriately distinct.
Chet the
Ultraloths are so strange to me. I love the art of this, but like you could be forgiven for thinking.
I like it.
Thinking this is an aberrant creature. We have the succubus and the incubus.
Yeah, we have.
Did we loop somehow here? I don't think so. No,
They're coming back.
Yeah, coming back around.
Of separated
Yep. Fail.
Fail. Out into two entirely different fiends.
Thank you, James.
In the 2014 Monster Manual, the succubus and the incubus were the same monster, and incubus was simply the name of the male-presenting version of it. And
the what? Male-presenting? Did he just say male? An incubus was male-presenting?
And the succubus was the God bless it, presenting.
Succubus was the female-presenting version of it. What we've done now is instead taken those names
Is that a new buzzword?
And tied them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's from all. You can blame all the gender lunatics on that. Yep.
To the fiend's function,
I
rather
wonder
than
what
to
Zolt says when he brings you your mail. I'm presenting your mail.
I'm presenting.
I'm mail presenting.
Let's ask him.
its gender presentation, because part of the story of these fiends is they can actually change how they're presented. Like they will appear in whatever form is going to most appeal to the mortal they are tempting. And
Warren, $5 Canadian. Fun fact: Nightmare on Elm Street 3 introduced the combat wheelchair in '87. Does that mean Watsy owes New Line Cinema royalties? Ooh, interesting.
Not bad. You might be onto something.
Is that the one Dawkins did the theme song to? Dream Warriors? We're the Dream Warriors. It's in my workout playlist. That's how I know.
And so we really leaned into the fact that in a lot of folklore, the succubus is providing physical enticement, whereas the incubus is invading one's dreams. And so now the succubus can present in, again, whatever way, male, female, or otherwise, to entice somebody. And one of their abilities is they can turn into an incubus, and similarly an incubus that focuses on, like Freddy Krueger, invading your dreams. It can, after a long rest, if it wants to instead operate in the physical realm, transform into a succubus.
Well, that's interesting. Do you think there's any real-world steam behind that?
There's something familiar about this. Something I just can't put my finger on it.
Boys can be girls and girls can be boys.
Ooh, oh gosh,
Coming now.
They, thems.
The plane of hell nearest you. Wow. I didn't count on that. Huh. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say why you did it. Because we all know what's behind it.
How'd you pass the bar?
How'd you pass the bar, Frank? When you go down this road with these people, this is what you get. It never ends. It's inculcation to the very end. Until you extend your middle finger to them.
So what's the limit? Like, what I mean, this is going to continue on to all kinds of things. But in the not too distant future, we can't say manicotti anymore because we can't say man. I don't know.
I mean, that's anything you could say, including that, is in the realm of, I wouldn't even say possibility, slight probability.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
just based on other things.
I never anticipated seeing some of the crazy we see, so might as well go full crazy.
Yep. I started a little Dawkins firestorm in the chat.
That's right. Rocking with Dawkins.
Rocking with Dawkins.
Rock Crin, Rogan, that's who said it.
All right.
Yep.
It's a good song, actually. Dream Warriors. Yeah, boy, that's. I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm just, that's their little thing. Well, there you go.
And so I think this has been a really fun way for us to deepen the lore of this particular fiend mini family. Of they not only are out to tempt you, but they're now very explicitly there to tempt you pretty much in any realm that you might find yourself in, whether that is the realm.
Yeah, as usual, they're too clever by half Nixit. Yeah, so he thinks trans creatures are demons. I can agree. It's just like the whole orcs being, black people. And then you had the memes like some brother being like, wait, you think I look like an orc?
The material or the realm of dreams.
What?
And we already mentioned that there is fiendish versions of like the Empyrean. Is another good example of that shifting over.
Because and the Empyrean is special in the book in that it appears in two categories.
Yeah. They don't just tempt,
because
they
each
groom.
Empyrean,
Yes.
when it is created,
There's more cheesecloth.
Yeah, more terrible, spiky art.
Hi, Melvin. Welcome to the chat.
Are we scared? No, we just like to laugh at it.
or born is allied with either the upper planes or the lower planes.
But we also have some absolute classics in here again. We mentioned the Bone Devil, we have the Bearded Devil, which is always very confusing. I don't like anything that has a tentacle beard. The Barbed Devil, which is classic, and Balor has always been super classic to D&D.
We also looked at differentiating some of the fiends better because we felt before they might look very different in their art, but not actually be that different in function. So we've made sure, like as you go through each of the devils, you're going to see a bit more differentiation in how they function. You're also going to see, and we've talked about this with other creatures, things that before might have been a customization option.
Rakshasa.
They got the hands right.
Yeah. Somehow they've made them less appealing, though.
Yes.
I don't know. Looks like a Skeksis in the background. It's all like just you're reducing.
This is a tea party right here with all my daughter's little stuffed animals.
I was gonna say it's so goofy.
It is.
Bird person, the antelope, the alligator.
I've seen this in real life when my daughter was 6.
Come on. I mean, you want the focus to be on the Rakshasa, right? I mean,
make it pop. His side of his fur, his face is just blending into the rest of his outfit. I mean, I don't know. More cheesecloth.
So stupid. Asterion, $5. That armor looks like ass. Why does everything need to be this spiky Warcraft shit? Yeah, talk about the last one they showed. Yeah, just use normal armor. It looks good. Yep. No, they can't do that. It's gotta be. It's all played out to them. Spike it up. All right, maybe we can. We'll do this. I do want to get a couple minutes of O&R on. So, well, that was fun.
Oh, Melvin, that's not true.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, we got
get your last lick in there, Melvin. All right, that's good. That's good.
Goodbye.
I don't want to time you out.
Melvin.
I always love being called an incel as my daughter is upstairs. You know, my wife is soon to come home.
These people use words so much they don't know the meaning of it anymore.
Yeah. Yep. Look at Cal's not here. He's away from his post.
Good night, Electric Dreams. Snake Oil just hit everybody up again.
Snake Oil. Watch, Melvin will get one of them. 5 memberships from our pal, Snake Oil Sean.
Very generous.
Thank you so
As
much.
always.
Yep.
Thank you very much, buddy. Mucho gracias. All right. Well, that was a full show.
Bam.
And it's not over for some of you.
I hope everyone enjoyed it.
A little bit of O&R coming up. Just a few minutes to get us back in the groove. And we're going to hit this thing hard. You guys will see tonight a little bit of where the boys are at. But I know some of you, little live plays like this, aren't your thing. So if you're dipping out, that's fine. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the support from the $2 super chats all the way up to the mega memberships, guys. It's all appreciated. It really is. Thank you all so much. You are the reason we keep coming back. We love you.
If anyone's leaving right now, thank you again for joining us. And don't forget to smash that like button.
Yeah, hit that like on your way out.
That just like, that
Or
makes us feel
dislike.
good.
Melvin, hit the dislike too. That's okay. Either or.
We have broad shoulders.
Either or. Fun stream, yes it was. Got to look back on the...
Jeff from Den Cars out. Have a good night.
See you, Jeff from...
Good night. Good night.
Yeah, still thinking of you, man. Take care. Hang in there. Yep, thanks all. Salute. Yep. I was raised a poor orc child. Is that...
That's from the Steve Martin movie.
Cal, is that you? I notice you have a wrench. Cal, are you I was raised a poor orc child? Did you join the trend of just changing your name willy-nilly? I don't know who else it could be. The only other moderator is... It's
Surly. No,
no.
not Surly. Surly's who I banned.
It's the one from Australia. He was the first super chatter, so I said, you get the first moderation. It's AA something, not autistically accurate, a different AA, from way back. Meat says, I'll change my name to Willy Nilly. All right, guys, those of you that are taking off, have a great night. For those of you sticking around, well... How could I not be me? I'm a joker. All right. Let me get my stuff. Alrighty. All right, so the boys, Otto, Rorik, and Rorik Squeeze Aurora, are headed north. Up in that area, if you can see where that little thing is up there. And they're not alone. Oh, no. They met Tyrus, who has a map to some sort of... he's described it as a forgotten city, a fallen city, up in the middle of nowhere, like literally up in the middle of nowhere. In let's just say a rough part of the Empire. Last time you guys went to Westfell, which is the capital of the Empire, and stocked up. Got all the supplies you needed. And then you headed north. Just you guys, right? You didn't pick up any rapscallions along the way?
No, we did not.
Okay. You guys do have a wagon. A couple of horses, I do believe.
That is correct.
Was there anything special you want to do on the trip north? I would say, correct me if I'm wrong here, you've sort of grown to trust Tyrus, right?
Yeah.
Remember, he got jumped by the first group that he unwed, Brute Dan and company, which he says stole a version of his map, but right. he has a backup, of course.
He's also throwing a lot of faith in us.
Yeah, and you're not sure if that's just desperation or, just, I guess, legit. He likes the cut of your jib. But you've generally found him to be pretty dependable. A pretty nice guy from all you've seen. He's yet to show you the full map. He kind of keeps it, he'll read it, look at it and then fold it up real quick if somebody's coming close.
Melvin, if you hate us so much, then why are you still here?
Yeah, all right.
Just go.
All right, Melvin, I
Just-
gave you your chance.
Yeah, just go
I'm
ahead.
just gonna sit
just
here
go
and
ahead and
just
go.
be a fucking. Yeah. There we go. That's probably one of what's his name's
Corn Boy.
Yeah, Corn Boys. Yeah, so you don't have to sit here and be a fucking retard. As if I'm trying to like compete with Critical Role. I got my two friends sitting across the table from me, faggot. Jeez. North you go. He tells you that, let's just say you've...
Good night, Nixit.
Take care, Nixit.
Good night, Nixit.
You've stopped in a couple of nights along the way in some towns, little hamlets and such. You've noticed the traffic, certainly not as much going north-south as it is east-west. He tells you on, let's say, the second night that the next day you should be approaching Westkeep. And he says, then we'll know we're getting, pretty close.
So we're there up there with the little mark.
Yeah. You're heading that direction. Right. He says that's essentially your. So you're taking some of these like lesser known roads all the way up. Maybe Aurora's gotten a little quieter. She's always. When she's around people, she tends to talk more.
Shines.
Yeah, and she has volunteered for this, but. Now maybe it's starting to hit her like, oh, we're going into uncivilized sort of lands. In fact, Tyrus tells you like we're going to be heading up into the prelacy of Middenmark. It's sort of like the semi-lawless part of the empire. And it has almost been turned over to the Church of St. Yig. St. Yig, as you can tell, probably pretty close to, your standard good, deity. Righteousness and light. I think you guys get the picture. Tyrus kind of drops this on you as maybe you're headed there the next day. He says, now I should tell you that the clerics of St. Yig have full sway over the Middenmark lands. So we got to be careful, he says. I hear they're very strict up here. That's all he says.
Fanatical.
Perhaps.
Dangerous.
He says, but we don't want to run afoul of them when we're going to be so close to our goal. He says, just take my lead, boys, and Miss Aurora, of course, and we'll get through it. He's being a little evasive, I guess.
All right.
But he sort of seems to think he knows what he's referring to. The next day, you're starting to see in front of you, the land's getting a little bleaker, okay, but you do see mountains ahead of you. You also see a forest coming up upon you. So you're coming up from that bottom left part there. And you see where that 4 is?
Mm-hmm.
You're starting to see a deep, dark wood in front of you. And he says, oh, yeah, that is a dark wood forest. He says, unfortunately, our path will lead through that as we head towards Eastdale. But first, we'll be coming up here. Oh, lo, I see, Westkeep. And you see rising kind of in front of that forest, there's a small town. And you see this watchtower there.
Man, it just reminds me of the Temple of Set. Just the other way.
Ooh, you'd be having some flashbacks now, would you not? From your dearly departed Roland. Maybe you are, and Aurora looks at you, Otto, and says, "Are you okay?"
I am, thank you.
She gives your hand like a little squeeze. Maybe she guesses that you're, thinking of something in your past. Tyra says, "This be Westkeep Village." He says, "That, of course, is the Great Watchtower. And also monastery for the clerics of St. Yig." He says, "We'll have to answer to them now." As your wagon comes up, you see a couple of for lack of a better word, like armed, I want to say soldiers. They're wearing the tabards of St. Yig, coming up upon you. And there's like a middle-aged priest in the middle. He says, "Hail." Has kind of a friendly but kind of serious look on his face. "What business have ye in Westkeep?"
I divert to what's his name?
Tyrus?
Yes,
Oh,
Tyrus.
for sure.
Tyrus just kind of looks and says, "Just staying perhaps a night on our way to Eastdale." And he says, "And there where to?" Tyrus is almost looking at you.
Wherever the good road takes us.
Yeah, let's make a charisma roll there, Otto. Remember, you want to roll under.
I did not. I rolled a 15.
Snake Ocean. Hail, rando priest. He says, "You wouldn't be going out into the Forbidden Zone, would you?"
Oh, no.
Well, Tyrus says, "Even if we were, that's our business, is it not?"
Craig Bragg said the exact same thing.
Yep. Well, this priest turns to you and then looks behind him, and you can hear a woman like crying.
Okay.
And there's a small cart being pulled by a donkey, kind of through the center of this little town, little hamlet, little village, however you want to call it. And he says, "Well, I suppose you are right. This is the priest talking now. I have no authority to stop you. But maybe you ought to ask her. That's her son on that cart." You can see a woman like wailing, like, "Oh," and there's of course people surrounding her, maybe
wailing
like
a coyote just died in the Pacific Northwest.
So he is looking now disapprovingly upon
Surly
you.
says, "Slip him a donation."
Do you wish?
Hadn't crossed my mind.
Maybe Surly speaking for Tyrus right now. So yes.
Let's see. Tyrus misses his chance.
Your tower's blocking your there you go.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I rolled there.
Well, wait, he would have rolled under.
Oh yeah,
his
that's
charisma.
right. Yeah,
he
yeah,
made
that's
it
right. Yeah, that's right.
very
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, he super duper well. Yeah, because it would be a check. Maybe he thinks better of it and digs down and says, we've always, all of us, been loyal adherents to our God. Blessed be Saint Yig. He puts in a couple of coins in a small little purse and kind of tosses it to the priest. The priest says, "Oh well, I do thank you."
With my daughter.
Yeah. He says, "Now, the church thanks you for your donation. Now, if it's burial costs, and you may want to think about this." Aurora, you can hear almost a gasp come from her. We can take care of that in sacred, consecrated ground at the graveyard just outside of town, if that's your final wishes. But that will take a little bit more of a donation to the church. It would cost you 2 gold crowns a head. Just something to keep in mind.
I'll be honest with you, Rourke right now, it's just kind of going over his head.
Yeah. Right now, the guards are just kind of mainly the guards, they're just kind of looking at Aurora. She almost covers herself,
right,
self-consciously a little bit, even though they're supposed to be, holy guards. The priest says, well, if you wish to sup and stay at the inn, you may, of course. As you know, the red laws, are on the books. I'll expect that you to adhere to them. And Tyrus says, of course, Father, thank you. We'll be on our way.
Thank you, Father.
Tyrus starts the horses.
When we get out of earshot, I will ask about the comment he made. I didn't quite...
The red law comment?
Well, no, about the cemetery. What was he grasping
Tyrus
at?
is just saying, well, apparently some people don't make it back from these expeditions up north. I guess he's just telling us that he will take care of any arrangements should we pass this mortal coil.
Oh. All right.
Aurora says, what's this about red laws? He says, oh, they're really strict on alcohol up here.
Oh.
It's I don't know how much they permit
It's
it.
like a dry county.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were only going to permit vodka and nothing else. Or...
No, you're going by that woman and she's wailing, oh, my poor boy, as there's a crowd of people around her, and you do see underneath, a wrap, with the mark of Saint Yig on it. He's probably headed for the very same graveyard that the other priest was talking to you about.
Okay.
Aurora's, gaze is fixed on that. Even as you go past, you can see her head just kind of, her eyes go up and then slowly turns around.
I'll lean over and I'll say quietly, are you all right? Are you concerned?
She stares at you just for a moment, blank-eyed, and then says, yes, of course, yeah, I'm fine, honey. And she kisses you on the cheek.
Okay.
And says, we may have to be a little ingenious about finding something to drink here, though. I'm not sure I like all this dry stuff. And then Tyrus says, we don't want to cause trouble here, my lady. Great Amish nights, says Joe. You pull in front of a place which must be an inn, but it's not marked overtly as such, but you do hear the quiet din of plates and silverware inside.
Well, I am hungry.
Yeah, as you would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tyra says, well, shall we? When you go in, you see a very stern-looking woman behind the bar. Piercing eyes, jutting nose. She nods, as friendly as she can probably be, and she says, "There's a table over there. Someone will be over to get your order if it's food you're wanting." She said, "We have fresh milk. We have, I guess, what the equivalent of like sparkling grape juice would be." We have near beer, near ale.
O'Doul's?
We have O'Doul's, yes. We have some O'Doul's. It's all like non-alcoholic stuff.
All right, well, hey, whatever. Give it a try.
Yeah. The most prim and proper, like 15-year-old girl comes over to take your order. You know, she does look almost like an Amish girl. She nods and smiles and says, you know, would you care for some fresh vegetables? And we have some fresh fowl that we, have ready.
That sounds fantastic.
Absolutely.
Honeyed milk?
Absolutely.
It's great, she says. With that, she turns around and says, 4 milks, and a bird.
I am keeping my eye strongly on Aurora right now.
Yeah. She's just kind of looking around, taking this place in. There's a lot of clergy here,
Right.
a lot of like guards, town guards essentially, and they're kind of indistinguishable from the church. They all wear that same tabard with a cross. You do see some farmers though.
I know she's savvy, but I also know that in environments like this, she would normally want and receive a lot of attention.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's dumb enough to start something, but I think that there are cases where sometimes it's not the person who starts, it's that the other people that wants to start something.
She seems to know what's proper. Look, she's not above a little bit of like showing off her goods when it's appropriate. I think she understands this is not appropriate. Again, she kind of covers up a little bit more than she normally would and kind of folds her arms, even when there are, supposed church people kind of eyeing her up just a little bit, side-eyeing her, just a hair. Before you know it, that bird is put down, and
how's it ready so fast? We parboiled it.
Yeah, we parboiled it. Yeah, it's a little pink inside.
It's all right. Good night, Badger.
See you, Badger.
Good night.
Yeah, we're almost done here too. Remember, we do this Prince Valiant style, just little comic strip, little bits at a time. Yeah, one thing you noticed is that the door for that watchtower, by the way, was probably 20 feet up.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yep. Temporary stairs, essentially. Stairs that can be either moved or destroyed, I suppose. Tyrus kind of lays out one of his maps and says, so tomorrow we will head through the forest, through the dark forest, and hopefully we can keep going straight to Eastdale. We may have to take turns. I don't think we want to stop in the in Darkwood Forest.
Oh, I'm sorry, Hallie. I didn't see your question. It is Dragon Slayer.
Yep. Yeah, we're playing Greg Gillespie's Dragon Slayer. You can find it on Drive-Thru. It's essentially a retro clone of Basic Expert with a little bit of first edition D&D, advanced D&D thrown in. So there you go. Look at this. Craig Rag. Welcome, sir.
Welcome
to the Defender level.
Rock and roll.
Yep. All right. I was going to do a picture for Tyrus. We're talking like a middle-aged guy. Anybody in the chat want to give me any suggestions? I'll brew up a picture for him if you wish. I don't know if I've already done this. I don't think I did. Well, there you go. You already know how to get on his good side. Yeah, CNC is we actually play CNC for our weekly game. I don't know if you know Hallie, but I have a 30-year Birthright campaign, continuous, urban jungle.
Gary
easy then Gary Shandling again. I'm gonna do it one of these times. I'm gonna do it. Maybe it should be.
Why not?
Maybe it should be. You know, Snake Oil.
You know,
you got it.
You go ahead with that one. Let me tell you who I was thinking.
Richard Dreyfuss.
The old school picture of Gary Marshall from The Dating Game.
Oh yes,
with the glasses.
Yeah. Oh boy, that is going back a stretch. Yeah, I do like Richard Dreyfuss. We'll work him in somewhere else. Gary Shandling. All right. I'm gonna write myself a note. Tyrus is Gary Shandling. We'll make sure to medievalize him. But yeah, Tyrus says, I suppose we don't want to hang out here too much. He says, now listen, I have heard in Eastdale, it's a little bit bigger. And I have heard at the inn there, they are allowed to sell alcohol for 2 hours a day. So that'll probably give us a little bit of incentive to get there. He's like, perhaps we can drive through the night if necessary. Absolutely. Into the morning. We'll leave early. It is a good stretch, and we don't want to go too fast and throw a wheel. That would be the worst of all possible things. Right. For there are bad things I've heard that live in Darkwood Forest. Ooh. You hear Aurora gulp. Dark things. Bad things. He immediately says, oh, nothing to be, worried about. There's a nice road that travels through. As long as we stick to it, we'll be just fine. Cheers, as he puts his honeyed milk up.
Cheers.
All right. And that is probably good for tonight. Thank you all for sticking by.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
We are getting close. We are getting so close.
So there might be monsters in the woods.
There is monsters.
Or underwater.
All right. Put the shades back on.
Welcome aboard, Craig Bragg.
Yep.
I hope everyone really enjoyed it.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed the show. That's our little live play just for the hardcores. Some of them love to see, and I see there's still 90 plus of you sticking around. As you can tell, we're trying to go head to head, as Melvin said, with Critical Role.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Krugus, there might be a Cyclops in there. Who knows?
Cyclops.
You know what's in the Dark Forest.
Yep. All right, guys. You guys make the show what it is, so keep showing up. We'll keep showing up.
Absolutely.
Spread the word, too.
Thank you, Patrick.
Yep. Patrick, thank you so much, buddy. Yep. Thank you all for the super chats, all the donations, all
much
the
appreciated.
memberships.
All the memberships that got handed out tonight.
Yep.
Very generous. All you guys are very generous.
Yep. Sexiest chat, Joe. You know it, buddy. You know it.
Damn.
All right.
Hit that like button.
Yes, hit the like button.
And Hallie, you 2024, thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome aboard.
Hopefully you come again.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll give you a little classy Freddie Blassie on the way out. How's that? You guys take care. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Back when I was a kid, life was going swell. Till something happened. Blew everything to hell. That night my daddy stumbled in, all pale and weak. Said a woman up the block just gave birth to a geek. Mom said, sell it to the circus. What the heck? Dad said, nope, this one's a pencil neck. And if there's one thing lower than a sideshow freak, it's a gritty, scum-sucking pencil neck geek. You see, if you take a pencil that won't hold lead, looks like a pipe cleaner attached to a head, add a buggy whip body with a brain that leaks, you got yourself a grit-eating pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Soon the geeks were popping up all over town. You couldn't hardly sneeze without knocking one down. After a nice juicy steak, if you need a toothpick, just reach for a geek. They'll do the trick. One day we cut one up for fish bait. Learned our lesson just a little bit late. Soon as the geek hit the drink, the water turned red. Next day, sure enough, all the fish were dead. Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Most any night, you know where I can be found. Yeah, stomping some geek's head into the ground. So keep the faith, cause in Blassie you can trust. I won't give up till the last geek bites the dust. Pencil neck geek, gritty freak, scum-sucking pea-head with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-gut losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. They say these geeks come a dime a dozen. I'm looking for the guy who's supplying the dimes. It's gonna be real hard times for all of these grit-eating, scum-sucking, boot-licking, drop-kicking, gut-grinding, nail-biting, glue-sniffing, scab-picking, butt-scratching, egg-hatching, sleazy, smelly, pepper-bellied, dirty, lousy, rotten, stinking freaks. Nothing but a pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek. Pencil neck geek.